Yo, what's going on, guys? This is your boy Mo sitting with the dashing one and nice little presents from the Jedi. I feel he's going to be spicy tonight. But before we deep dive into things, I'm going to shoot it over to the dashing one. And I think my signal's messing up. I'm going to shoot it over to the dashing one because I think he has something to say.
Oh, geez. Okay. Today we're going to be talking about the last 7 days in wrestling. Preferably, we got Wrestlemania weekend, which was live from Philadelphia. I was there live for NXT Stand and Deliver and night 2 of Wrestlemania. One of the big topics that we had was, will Cody win or will Roman retain? A lot of people said that there was no way Cody was going to win. The story was not going to get finished. Damn, I feel good, because what did he do? He finished that damn story. He won that world title. He broke the Tribal Chiefs' reign of terror above the WWE, and he did it with tribal rules. He did it with the rules stacked against him, even with The Rock there, Solo there. You got Jimmy Uso there. You got the whole clan there, and he still did it. And I said, everybody, I was guaranteed he was going to win. He was going to get the title. He was going to dethrone Roman Reigns. And damn, it feels good. And that's a great lead up to the question of the day. As you see in the comments, we got a poll going up right now. Can Cody be the face of the WWE? Yes or no? I say it's yes. What about you?
Man, I'm not a Cody hater. I was a Roman supporter and got caught up in the moment of putting the ones up. You know what I mean? Three plus years we've been putting the one up, man. And
Yep.
But now that it is said and done, now that the smoke has cleared and the title reign is over, I do think it was the right decision. I think it was the right decision all the way around, from Cody losing WrestleMania 39 to him struggling all year till getting to WrestleMania 40, not being booked, to then being booked, to Rock being a babyface, to Rock being a heel. Everything organically happened, and some people don't think it turned out for the better, but me personally, and I consider myself to be a pretty decent critic, as far as I'm not just a mark, as far as I just take whatever they have and I absorb it. But I do think it was the right decision. As far as the crowd, can he be the face going forward? It's hard in a wrestling world for the baby face to stay champion for a really long time. But I think if there's somebody that can, and the crowd not turn on them too much, it might be Cody. Christopher, what do you think?
Oh, I might kick some knowledge real quick.
Oh, drop it.
Okay, what makes the company give you a push? Why do they push you in the first place? Why do they put the strap on you? What do they do? Why do they do it? They do it because the crowd pushes the issue. And they go, what's going to make us the most money? Oh, this guy, let's make him the face of the company. Okay, I saw those crowds. I've been seeing those crowds for years. Every time this man comes out, the roof comes off the place. It explodes. It's massive. I saw the pops this guy was getting, and he's been doing it for years. We're talking about a man who left a guaranteed paycheck to go dream up a new company. Now, he didn't do it all by himself, but he did. Am I not mistaken? He did build AEW. He helped build it. helped
Oh,
start
It
it.
was one
dude,
of them.
don't
Yep.
you know AEW, especially right now, the time that they're at the lowest of the low, the fucking shit can of the fucking wrestling world. And Chris, I do not mean to interrupt you, but I do have to say this because it was a beautiful thing I heard from Cage Rage last night, bro. You know what Cage Rage told me last night? WWE number 1, TNA number 2, New Japan number 3, and hey, Cage Rage, who's in that fourth
What
place,
up?
boy?
AEW.
In that fourth place spot. Just
So
What is going on?
get
So he
Shout out
leaves.
to
comes back.
Dylan right there.
Shut out, brother. And how bad does AEW got rid of the biggest fucking star in wrestling? They just got rid of him.
At
Well,
this
well,
point,
I know.
yes.
They didn't get rid of it. Like that was his choice, but it looks like
No,
now
he
he
left.
made the right damn choice.
But he came back after doing all that. He came back when The
Yeah.
Rock came in and did the whole, I'm gonna be the head of the table. And we all know, I don't give a shit what anyone says. It wasn't a work from the beginning. They steered into it and made it a work because they knew they fucked up. And you saw social media lose their minds when they thought this guy wasn't going to get the strap put on him. Do I think he can be the face in the company? Yeah, for a while. Yeah, he definitely can. He's not gonna. He hasn't. It's not like he stumbled out the gate. This is a story that took 2 years to tell. We're talking about a patient man right here. He doesn't get backstage, get real political. He's patient. He waited for it, and now he's got it. Now, a babyface being everybody wants to be the underdog. That's what everybody loves in wrestling. So you guys are right. A babyface can't stay on top too long, but can Cody lead the company? Absolutely. And I'm looking forward to his heel turn.
Oh, every good babyface minus John Cena, there should be a good heel turn, a good heel run. Hey, KJ, take it over for a second. I'm going to run a speed test on my internet.
And I wouldn't have been mad if Roman won. I wouldn't have been mad. You know,
it just wasn't. It just was dictated to the point where you had to have Cody win, because the only thing that was keeping Roman as champion was the record. And I've said this for weeks. They made too much emphasis on the Hulk Hogan mark, which is.
I think they were trying to swerve us. I think they did their job. They because everybody going into that main event was like, man, Cody could lose. Like they set up such an atmosphere that we all thought until we hear that 1, 2, 3, it's not real. You know,
and then they're setting the stage for after it too, because you had Rock be the one to pin Cody in night 1. It was like, we'll get into that, but that was part of the story for after. They were setting the stage for another story.
You were there. Now, I've gone to a lot of UFC events, right? When you're at the UFC live event, you don't hear Joe Rogan, okay? You don't hear it used to be that Goldberg guy when I was going to him, okay? You don't hear those guys. But you got to hear Samantha Irvin when Cody won, right?
Oh, yeah. She was
you
could feel it.
You could feel it, man. It was so and it's moments like that made me go, this is why I love this form of entertainment. This is why I love this sport. And this is definitely why I love this storyline. And I wanted Cody to win for that moments like that, you know, that was overbooked. That was overbooked, Cage. It was so overbooked. It was so great, but it was overbooked. You know what I mean? They had The Rock, they had The Undertaker.
It's a showcase. And it kind of fit together because Undertaker lost to Roman at WrestleMania. So and then he's always feuded with the Samoan family. So it's kind of
had those great seats. You had those great seats where you actually see, like, because I remember texting Cage going, "Oh my god, I think the Usos just died." They just
also what I thought about the Undertaker. Also, what I thought about the Undertaker stuff, I didn't really. It's not that I didn't like it in the moment. I watched it afterwards, just being what we do. We try to break stuff down, trying to think about it, and everybody's thinking, "Oh, wish it was Stone Cold." But I heard a theory that does make sense, and they could have been going this way on purpose, or it's just they painted the picture and it fits. But the reason it was Undertaker because he was the locker room leader. Undertaker's always been the locker room leader, so he's saying right there that he's choosing Cody.
And that was the transition when he lost to Roman. it transitioned the locker room leader from him to Roman at that time in Mania. I think it was Orlando. And then it was kind of Finn that he'd come in and be the one to stop The Rock. You look at things in the past. The first WrestleMania he wrestled was Jimmy Snuka. He's wrestled the Rock in the past. He chokeslammed Rikishi, part of the family, off the Hell in a Cell onto a hay truck.
Oh yeah, I remember
in
that.
that six-man Hell in a Cell match. He's wrestled damn near all these Samoans. Yokozuna. He wrestled Yokozuna. Like, he has history with that family. So which it could have been Stone Cold.
No, it
but
was
Stone Cold only has history. Stone Cold has history with The Rock. He just doesn't have the history with the family. So you could have went with either guy, but I thought Undertaker made more sense for the story.
And even though I know I've said this to you guys before, but even though like Roman lost, okay, all right, but can we just talk about this 10-year journey that we've been on with Roman Reigns? For the first 5, we hated him. They were trying to cram him down our throats, and nobody liked this guy. Nobody. And
we'll get into that on when we talk about Raw.
And look at what he's done the past 5 years. He's incredible. Like shout out big time to Roman Reigns, one of the GOATs, without a doubt.
Yeah.
One of the
yeah. Like, he transcended everything when he went here, created this bloodline, and was able to hold the top spot for the last three and a half years.
That's crazy. Yeah. In today's day and age, that's crazy.
It is, but then it's easier to do it as a heel than it is to do it as a babyface, because you can get away with a lot more as a heel. So it made it easier for him. I think it's going to be harder for Cody since he's a babyface. A lot more is expected from you. You can't be conniving when you win, or you use countouts and distractions. And
I got a question for you
to win matches.
I got a question for both of you, and it's a story, and it's not going to be an easy one to answer. Better moment, Daniel Bryan or Cody Rhodes?
Cody.
Yeah, is it Cody? Look, Mo's just like, fuck that, Cody. But I know you guys. I know both you guys.
But there's also a kind of coincidence. WrestleMania 30, Daniel Bryan had his finished his story, had his moment. WrestleMania 35, 5 years later, Kofi Mania, Kofi finished his story. 5 years later from that, this year, Cody finishes his story. The last 10 years, every 5 years, there's been somebody's story that has kind of finished. Yeah,
and they really break them out big for like the first. Like, I'm WrestleMania 10. I'm trying to remember how good that one was, but I know 20 was great, 30 was great, 35 was great. All these milestone ones are great. 25 was great. Come on, Undertaker and Shawn, bro. Every 5 years we get like a Mania with a huge moment. I did have one little tiny complaint. You guys should save it for live. Do either of you felt maybe, even though we love what happened, did maybe the celebration go on a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Because they played his song like 10 times in a row.
Yep.
I mean, I got mad love for him.
I think maybe they went off air a little too early and they were just filling time, but that could be it. Was redundant.
Yeah, because the shit bringing out Triple H and Bruce Pritchard was great. I love that.
Because that's why they did it longer. It meant something. It was kind of the usher, like I said last week.
Well, they are really pushing that this is Triple H's company now. They are pushing that.
What did I say last week? This WrestleMania was the last attachment to Vince McMahon, the last storylines that Vince McMahon created. Everything after Mania is officially all Triple H.
Have we been live since you went? Have we talked about the aftermath, the matches, or anything? Have we done any of that?
No, this is what we're about to do today.
Okay, all right. I'm just wondering because I know night 1 was good, wasn't great. Night 2 was phenomenal, so good.
Well, let's get started with the weekend, though. First, we have NXT Stand and Deliver, which was Saturday afternoon, which I did go to also myself, and it was fucking awesome. The crowd was insane. 18,000 people. What was that?
Did you get on TV on NXT?
No, I did not. I was close. No. It's hard to get on TV on either unless you're like on the floor. And I was like this
Your
close to the
sexy ass
floor.
got on TNA though, didn't you?
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And I was just watching me on TV like 10 minutes ago. But that's besides the point, you know.
Oh yeah.
But
your beard is looking mighty fluffy today. Hey,
yeah,
we
you
got
know.
Jimmy watching us on TikTok too. Shout out to Jimmy.
Shout out to everybody on TikTok. Yes, we're all live on TikTok as
And
well.
Yeah, we're
I'm sorry.
live on
As
my
on-
phone on TikTok. So my internet's all jacked up. So that's why my cam's off here because it seems to be running fine here, and
Yeah.
that allows me to go live on TikTok. So
Yeah, so we're live
we'll
on
see how it goes.
Twitter, we're live on YouTube, we're live on Twitch, and we're live on TikTok. So check us out on either one of them. Mo is controlling the TikTok, so whatever you're saying on there, he will answer you guys, and he will look up all the comments on there for the first time on TikTok. But the first match on NXT Stand and Deliver, we had 6 matches on the card. First one was the Tag Team Championship, the Wolf Dogs. You had Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin defeated Axiom and Nathan Frazier. What a match this was. I was kind of skeptical on this one because I wanted it to be the Good Brothers because there could have been a storyline there. Possibly had Tama Tonga appear, but Axiom and Nathan Frazier won the shot to get a title shot. And I thought it was worthy of it. You had 2 big, strong guys in the Wolf Dogs. They've kind of grown on me as a tag team. You got Braun Breaker who got called up. Apparently, Baron Corbin's going to get called back up, and there's potential. They're saying that WWE might pair them as a tag team on SmackDown moving forward for a while because they like what they're doing as a tag team in NXT. So they might both come up together instead of separate. And Axiom and Nathan Frazier, if you know Nathan Frazier, he's one of the trainees of Seth Rollins. They've paired well together. The 2 high flyers, they're very quick. The high flying speed against the big powerhouses meshed well in this one. There's several times where I thought Axiom and Nathan Frazier were going to get the victory. Especially on the outside where Nathan Frazier did I think it was the 450 into the ring, but the Wolf Dogs get the victory. Braun finished them off with the spear. But then we did on Tuesday, they did a rematch in Axiom and Nathan Frazier on NXT Tuesday, beat the Wolf Dogs and became tag team champions. So that's a little bit of a nitpick I had on why have them win here but then lose on Tuesday?
Because I think you're onto something. I think you're onto something. I don't know much about NXT like you, but I think they're going to get called up. And
they already had that where Braun did the after-match speech, and he was like, "Thank you guys." It was on Twitter.
Okay, so
thank you guys for having me.
They get the big push. Who you think they go to the Raw or SmackDown? I think R-Truth and Miz drop the belts to these guys.
Well, right now they're both on SmackDown. It's just
let me ask you this:
depending on the draft.
Cage Rage, let me ask you this. So I did see where they're talking about bringing Baron up with them. Is that a positive for Braun?
Yes.
Okay, so you think it's better if he comes up, they be a tag team for a little bit, maybe split, and then he has a little clout instead of coming in and trying to grow as a singles wrestler?
Yeah, because it allows him to get comfortable at the on the main roster. You know how sometimes when people get called up, they get stagnant right away because you don't get booked the right way. Even as a singles guy, you might go up, you might win a mid-card title too soon and then get pushed too far up. And he's the type of guy where I feel like he's going to have to be in the opposite brand as Cody. It's going to kind of be hard to have him be a main event guy while Cody's at the top of his game, unless he's on the opposite brand. So maybe having him in a tag team gives you more leeway with it. You can use him as a tag team guy with Baron for 6 months or to 6 to 8 months, and then push him over to a singles guy. And then after next Mania, you can then transition him back to a singles superstar. And by then, things might have changed. There might be more spots open for him up at the upper echelon of the card, and then maybe you have him go for like the US or the IC title and then see where he fits from there. But it's always good to have like a small star, especially with the tag team where they like to mix and match guys anyway. And there's a lot of potential to have them as the champs right at the start.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I had you on mute because I was communicating with the big dog on TikTok. Shout out to you, big dog. But yeah, no, like I feel the same way. And I don't know if you watch. I don't know if you watch. Do you watch the? I think it's called WWE Ultimate on Peacock with Sam Roberts.
Every now and then.
I'll be right back.
Like
I'll be right back, guys.
All right, dog.
Yeah.
They take they do like a 30 minutes. They draft different wrestlers, and they have different generations that they can choose from. You know, you can't choose some blah 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 blah. So, but they get this big roster, and then once they get the roster, they fantasy book it, and what's the dude's name? Sam Roberts goes through and books the matches. But I say that to say they were on this past one for WrestleMania. Like they were the guests, like the Wolf Dogs, and bro, they were fire together, man. Like you can tell they just got good chemistry. They're joking around, and I think you're right. I think that's going to help Braun just feel a little bit more comfortable, and he already has all the intangibles anyway. He's going to be a monster, so there's no reason to rush it. Let him do this for a year, however long. Let him get comfortable, and then unleash the beast.
Hell yeah! By the way, shout out to Sam Roberts. I did meet him at NXT Stand and Deliver. He walked by. I got to shake his hand and meet him. Nice guy. So shout out to him. But let's transition from this match to the next one. This might be my favorite match of the card. The North American Championship. Obafemi defeats Josh Briggs and Dijak. And it was sponsored by Knuckles. I'm not sure if you've seen that. I sent it to you. That meme that's going around where you have Booker T at the desk with the guy dressed up as Knuckles staring at him.
You're doing Hey, Cage, you guys are doing NXT stuff right now. Is it cool if I walk the dog real quick and come back?
Yeah, you're good.
All right, I'm staying in the room. I'll be right back. Give me 10 minutes. Yeah. You guys are talking about that dog shit promotion. I don't care about. I'm just kidding. Don't.
I'll be back in a few minutes. But yeah, this was one of my favorite matches of the card. They're really pushing Obafemi. He won the breakout tournament a few months ago. He instantly cashed in on Dragon Lee, won the title. And then he's been fighting a few guys, but he really hasn't been tested by anybody big, powerful. And at NXT Stand Deliver, not one, but two guys that are big and powerful. You have Josh Briggs, who has been inspired by JBL, and then you got Dijak, who's been on a roll lately. And these guys just tore the house down. Fucking big move after a big move. One of them was Josh Briggs. He had Obafemi sitting in an announcer's chair because they pulled it out and they threw him on it. And Dijak went to jump off the top rope. And Josh Briggs caught him with his hand and chokeslammed him off the top rope onto Obafemi in the chair. He also had put Dijak on the top rope later on and fucking hit him with a clothesline from hell from the top rope onto the mat. We thought it was over there, but Obafemi broke it out. There was several times that Dijak had to finish with Feast Your Eyes, but the ref got pulled out, and Obafemi was able to eke out this victory at the end, hitting Dijak with a powerbomb onto Josh Briggs and getting the pin. They're really setting this guy up to be the next face of NXT. I think they still have Dragunov as champion. You got this whole thing going with that we're talking about. But I think once you see these guys get caught up in the next 6 months to a year, Obafemi is going to be a future champion. This guy's just big. He's been pretty good as a heel on the mic. He's very raw, but he has the big potential that you want in an NXT superstar up at the top of the main event level.
Nice. Yeah, no, I didn't watch any of the Stand and Deliver, but I did catch Ivar. Didn't Ivar come out and have an
He came
interaction
out.
with Hogan?
Yes, he came out on Tuesday because what's the Overfemi came out to just kind of gloat about winning against Briggs and Dijak. They mentioned that Briggs injured his ribs on Saturday, so he was going to be off for like a week or two. And he was just talking about how tough that match was, but he won, and it's going to be hard for anybody to challenge him. And that's when Ivar came out and was like, I want to challenge you. And then Ivar was like the first guy to get the best of him in one of those one-on-one situations.
Yeah.
So it looks like you're going to get a future North American Championship match between Obafemi and Ivar, which is great because
And he looked like a
Ivar,
normal dude. Like, he didn't
Yeah.
look all crazy. Like,
And
he wasn't
it
on
gives
his
you-
Viking outfit.
and I like how they send some people down to NXT. Like last week, Natalia. Actually, no, this week Natalia came down and challenged Roxanne Perez for the title. Like you have the Final Testament came down and attacked Axum and what's his name, Nathan Frazier after they won the titles. I like how they send people down that not necessarily are doing too much, and it's giving them work. It's kind of like with Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin's been down there for almost a year, and it's kind of rejuvenated his career. Like people are actually cheering him now. They're not booing him anymore. They're cheering him, and he's getting a big pops, and he's getting that rub. Being paired with Baron Corbin, being paired with Braun Breaker, so it's working with them, and I think that's what Triple H and Shawn Michaels are trying to do. They're trying to see, can we send these guys down for a little bit, get them rejuvenated, reintroduced, or repackaged, and then send them back up. Because I'm hoping they eventually call up Dijak because he's a guy that he doesn't have to win, but he could be a guy that can challenge for any title, and then he's going to put on a great match, and he's improved tremendously on the mic, and I like his new gimmick that he's doing. It's easily better than Retribution that almost just killed his career.
Anything's better than Retribution, dog.
Yes.
That's just horrible.
The next match that we had was a 3-on-3. Kalani Jordan, Fallon Henley, and Thea Hale defeated JC Jane, Kiana James, and Izzy Dame. The big storyline here is Thea Hare and JC Jane. JC Jane was paired up with her, trying to be a good friend to her, quote unquote, with Chase U. JC Jane helped Chase U get out of their debt and help them reinstitutionalize Chase U back to NXT, but then turned on Thea and said that she was only using her to get the fame back on herself. And that really pissed off Thea Hale. And then she said that she has no friends. And I have friends here in Kiana and Izzy who were already feuding with Kalani and Fallon Henley. So they just made a 3-on-3 match. Surprisingly, this was a really good match. It ended with Thea Hale getting the submission on bar on Izzy Dame, who's only been on NXT on TV for a couple months since aligning with Kiana James. Great match. They were able to continue the storyline. On Tuesday, they perpetuated it even more. JC Jane gave out the truth of why Chase U and why they were in debt. It's because they put a bet on Thea Hale to win the women's championship back in July, and Andre Chase did that. And he put all the money on it. He took money from Tony D. And when he threw in the towel, he basically threw in the towel knowing that he had money on Thea Hale because he didn't want her to get hurt. So JC Jane has caused friction between the two. We don't know where it's going to go, but I won't wait too much on this match. But it was a really good match. Kalani Jordan is going to be a breakout star out of this group. She's been on TV for 6 months or so. I think with them announcing the new NXT Women's North American Championship, she's definitely going to be in the running for one of for favorites to win that title. She has the athleticism, she has the personality, the crowd gets behind her, and she's starting to get comfortable in the ring on a weekly basis. So keep an eye out on Kalani Jordan on NXT in the future.
Is she the one that's super cheeked up?
She's the one with the long, like, curly hair.
Okay. Who's the
Yeah.
one that uses like the hip move as their finish? I get all them NXT girls fucking confused.
Yeah. Wrong woman. You're thinking of Nikita Lyons, who's been out with the ACL. Yeah. Okay, next match, we got the NXT Women's Championship. Roxanne Perez, who defeated Lyra Valkyria, who was the champion. We've had this heel turn of Roxanne Perez. I think initially it was supposed to be for Cora Jade, but once Cora Jade got hurt, Carmelo's girlfriend, yes, Kalani Jordan is the girlfriend of Carmelo Hayes. But what was I saying? Yeah, but Roxanne Perez, this was supposed to be Cora Jade's spot, and then she got hurt, injured her, I think, leg again. Injured her arm again, had surgery. She should be back soon, though. So they are experimenting before they call up Roxanne Perez. They turn her heel. They're trying to see how she does. She's actually doing a great job. She injured Lyra Valkyria's arm a few weeks ago with the corner post. So Lyra came into this match with an injured arm, and basically Perez came with the game plan of, I'm going to attack the arm, injure her, make it easier to win. And it was going according to the plan. And then Lyra Valkyria made a save. But then one of the game-changing spots was when Tatum Paxley came out through the crowd, went to help her. It kind of distracted Valkyria. Roxanne Perez took over and used the spot along the corner to injure her arm a little bit more. And then she won the match with a submission. Lyra Valkyria couldn't hold the pain in much longer, and Roxanne Perez becomes a two-time NXT Women's Champion. He says, Roxanne has been a good hero. I think so, too. I like it because you want to see the two sides of them, like before you call up. You don't want to just be known as a babyface. If you can show yourself as both a babyface and a heel, when you get caught up, it gives yourself more chances to be on TV. You can put yourself in different spots because they've seen what you've been able to work on, and she's kind of showcased that. She was on Raw. She wrestled and won her match on Raw. That was like a little, I guess, tryout. And then she qualified herself for the draft. So I expect her to at some point drop the title in the next couple of weeks and then get drafted to either Raw or SmackDown.
My bad. Over here rocking the TikTok 40-year-old style. But I'm going to start it over because note to self, you can't smoke on TikTok. You get hit with an age restriction, and then you also got hit with a 10-minute, like, boom, boom, not in trouble, but we're not going to promote you. So that ended, but the age restricted was not going to end until I ended the stream. So I went ahead and ended it. We had a couple people in there, but I told them that I was about to restart it again. So I'm about to restart that back up. But yeah. No, I didn't get to watch a whole bunch of NXT, so this is going to be you until we get to the next topic.
Yeah, we got
the TikTok going back up.
We got the NXT Championship. We got 2 matches, and then we'll get the WrestleMania recap. We got the NXT Championship. Ilya Dragunov defeated Tony D'Angelo to retain his title. The big part of the match, this was a great back-and-forth match. The big point in the match was when Stax was getting ready to hand Tony D the brass knucks to use them. Tony D said, no, I don't need them. I'll win this by myself. Handed them back, and then that's when Dragunov took over and got the victory, and then did the elbow off the top rope to the face of Tony D. Gets the 1, 2, 3 count. Ilya Dragunov retains the title. like I said, great back and forth match. I always like watching these two. Part of me wished they had Tony D win the title because I wanted to see him as champion. He is the leader of the family. The family is growing now that they have a lawyer on Tainer who is tag teaming with Stacks, which they talked about on Tuesday. But with the future of Dragunov, we did see on Tuesday that he's going to be defending the title at Spring Breakin' against Trick Williams. I'll get into that in a second because I want to talk about the main event, but this was a great spot for this one. They put Trick versus Mello in the main event because the storyline was a lot bigger. This is the one situation where the story is bigger than the championship match itself and everything with it. But this one definitely proved out. You're going to see, I'm interested to see where they go with Tony D in the future on NXT. And I'm interested to see how they call up Dragunov and to see what they do, because he's going to be caught up like Roxanne. I see him going to Raw and get drafted there once he drops the belt to, it looks like, Trick. Moving on to the main event, Trick Williams defeats Carmelo Hayes. If there's somebody that comes close to the pop of Cody Rhodes, it is Trick Williams. That crowd was electric when he came out. The whoop that Trick chants, they were so loud that you couldn't hear anything, like his music. Like you couldn't hear his music because everybody was chanting his names and saying, whoop that Trick so loud. This guy is a made man. This guy is the main event. This guy is the face of NXT right now. These guys, the match was pretty decent. There was a couple botches here and there.
How loud was it, Cage? Do you have any of your videos uploaded right here?
Not onto my computer. I have them on my phone.
That one video that you sent of Trick, boy, that was even loud on the phone. I wish you had that. Like, you need to upload that to StreamYard so we can use that.
I will. I'll upload it while we're talking on Wrestlemania. Then I'll have it played when I upload it. But this guy just has that raw athleticism. He was drafted by the Eagles in NFL. Only did like a couple years on the practice squad and like during training camp. Decided to go to the NIL way to NXT. And this guy is just straight up killing it. And he won the match with Carmelo Hayes. I like the end where they both went for a knee and he hits Carmelo and gets the victory and then leaves and the crowd goes crazy. He's just soaking it in. Then on Tuesday, he confronts Dragunov and tells him, I want that shot. Dragunov says no. And he was like, what do I got to do? He was like, what do I got to do? I just beat Mello. I'll do anything. You tell me what I need to do, and I'll do it. So Dragunov gives him the proposal. Okay, 2 weeks from now, NXT Spring Breakin'. It's going to be me versus you for the NXT Championship. But if you lose, you have to leave NXT. And Trick says yes. They shake on it, and then when the show's about to end, they both get attacked by Carmelo Hayes, who attacks them, and then Carmelo says, you think we're done, Trick? We're not. You might have a championship match in 2 weeks, but next week it's going to be me versus you in a steel cage on NXT Tuesday. So we're getting this triangle feud again. I'm hoping it ends because I'm kind of tired of it because they've been going this route for over a year. But we're getting Trick in a steel cage with Mello next week, and then we're getting Trick versus Dragunov in a loser leaves NXT match, basically, and then the winner is the champion. So I feel like they're doing the Cody Rhodes, where they're stacking the deck against Trick Williams, and he's going to come out victorious in both matches. But that's the last match that was on NXT Stand Deliver. It exceeded my expectations. I thought it was okay on paper, but they lived to it. Maybe that's because I was there in person, so it's a little bit like it kind of heightens my love for the show because I got to like witness it live. I got to feel the crowd, the excitement. I got to see everything there, and I was up close. But I loved every minute of the pay-per-view, and it's the biggest pay-per-view of the year.
What do they call that? You're a
Appreciate it,
hostage
big
to
dog.
the moment or something like that.
Yeah. You get caught up in everything going on. And
Let me ask you, did you, because NXT was the first show you went of like for the weekend, right? So
yes.
it was food. You were rock hard, basically. You were ready. Did you
I was
squeal
ready.
like a girl at any point? Did you like on accident or anything? Like, did you?
No.
Oh, he was rock hard, bro. You know he was there, bro.
I was ready, man. I was ready.
Did you have Did you have any chicas sitting around you?
Quite a few. Quite a few. And
Okay. Did you wear your best cologne?
always.
Are you upset
Always,
that
man.
is
Dude,
anybody
it's a
upset
known
there?
fact, dude. Chicks love cheers. It's a known fact.
It is. They like it when a man smells good. Are you upset at all that you? I mean, I'm calling it. Well, you kind of called it first, but you think
What?
Roxanne's gonna drop that belt to my girl,
Who's your girl?
Natalia?
She lost. Natalia
When did
lost
that
to her.
happen?
That happened on
Natalia.
Tuesday.
Can you believe that Natalia is this?
You want to know what? You want to know why she lost though? Lola Vice.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, Lola Vice.
Oh yeah. And then I'm about to get one of my favorite matches on
Natalia's
Tuesday.
Natalia's the shit. I'm sick of hearing about that stupid Tiffany shit.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a-
And
nobody gives a
Dude,
shit about
shut
Tiffany
your
Stratton.
dude. You shut your fucking mouth talking about Tiffany Stratton. All right,
Nobody gives a fuck.
dude.
You know what?
Cage.
I'm about to,
Okay, hey,
I'm
hold
just
on,
gonna
Cage.
say-
Hold on. Hey, give me 5 seconds so I can let our TikTok family see what your response is going to be to that. All right, go ahead, please.
I'm just saying, man. Natalia's that's my girl. I don't give a shit about. I mean, Tiffany's great, but I don't give a fuck about the rest of them hoes.
Hold on. I got you. I got 18 things going on over here. I can barely chew bubblegum and fucking walk, but I got this. You know what I'm saying? Here we go. Boom. Yeah, bitches. It's
There we
fucking Tiffany
go.
time. All that, and then just a final one for the Jedi.
So everybody out there complaining, cry me a fucking river.
No, I think Tiffany's gonna be great. She got a great look. I like her hair. I don't know. I think Tiffany's gonna be great. Natalia's
Well,
had a
here's
run.
the question. Here's the question of the weekend. Where the fuck was she? Where the fuck was she? She wasn't on any show.
Maybe.
Hey guys, Big Dog
maybe.
says no. She is there to help push the others to be better. Chris, she ain't gonna
Yeah,
win
that's
no
what
fucking
Natalia-
title.
That's what Natalia does. I know that. It's a joke.
She's there
I'm
to
just
job
saying,
out.
I like her.
Chris.
She's
there
a
to
fucking
job out.
jobber. She had her moment, but she's also wrestling royalty. She's part of that royal family too. One of them royal families. Just remember that.
She is. She is.
Somebody said royal family.
I knew that was going to happen.
It's going to be great. Maybe she's hurt. You think she got hurt at?
No, it's just
We haven't seen her.
storyline.
Has
Just
she
like
wrestled?
Braun.
Has she wrestled
up,
at
Tiger?
all since Elimination Chamber?
Once. She had a package 2 weeks ago too, and then that's it. I think they're saving her. I think they were saving her for after. That's why it was great to see her at the Elimination Chamber, but then it's like, why would you have her wrestle there, but then not do anything until after Mania? I think they were just trying to cash in on the popularity, and they're short like a wrestler, and she added it. It worked. It added to it. But she's going to be up there at the top. She's very athletic. She's very good. She's a heel. She's just raw. And I think they're trying to switch over from her being competitive to then they're going to have her do these squash matches. Like, that's always what happens when you have these promos where you're showing out this star. They did her coming out party, Elimination Chamber, then this. I just hope that she wrestles tomorrow and not
Big Dog
you won't see her.
with you.
Not just like wait until like the draft. But I think that draft's going to be important for her. I kind of want her to stay on SmackDown, but I have a feeling they might try and capitalize on her and put her on Raw. and he said she just want to slam me.
Yeah, didn't
But
Big Daddy Drew win a couple slammies?
oh yeah, he did. He won Social Media of the Year. You know why?
Here's what I
One,
think. Hear me out. Hot take. You ready?
I'm waiting. Yep.
WrestleMania next year. Chelsea Green will be in one of the main events for the women's
shut
title.
your mouth. Kick him out the
No,
fuck.
get the fuck out of here. Yeah,
What's up,
where
Greg?
is it? There you go.
Where's that fucking
Boom.
kick button? You kick that motherfucker.
I just want to kick him straight out of the fucking channel. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm not-
I do.
I'm not-
all that aside, I do like me some Chelsea Green. Though.
Yeah,
Like,
I
she ain't
can't-
gonna be
I
in the
can't
main event,
dream.
I do like Chelsea
I
Green.
can't dream.
Chelsea Green is fabulous. I
Oh,
saw
by the
on
way,
X.
Are we
Go
done
ahead.
with NXT? Are we done with NXT? Are we getting ready to get on the WrestleMania?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we are.
Before we get on to the WrestleMania, can I just say one thing? I always noticed it before, but I never talked about it. Mo has always talked about it. Let me just say this without a doubt. Okay. Samantha Irving is a bad motherfucker. She's as important to the roster as the wrestlers
Yes,
is.
yes.
She's incredible.
Dude, she's so fire.
She is incredible, man.
Best
She's
announcer, in my opinion, best announcer of all time, and she's been doing this a short amount of time.
Yep.
But so we got a homie named Ark. Shout out to Ark. He just tells it how he feels in the moment, and we're not all yes men. Like if we agree, we agree. If we disagree, we say it. And I agree with a lot of stuff he says, but I disagree with him on him getting. I could see how he can make fun of like other grown men crying because Cody won, but I think that was fantastic how she got emotional announcing Cody winning. That just made it even better when she announced it and got choked up. It was fire.
Hold up. Give me a second because I got something that
She
you
was,
asked
no,
for.
she was great. She was great. And that made me go
Okay,
back
I
and
got
watch
you.
some of her greatest moments. She has some great moments, man. And
Yeah,
the way
you
she
can
said,
go and look
what
up.
made me think of it was the Chelsea Green, because she says Chelsea different. She always get. Have you ever know? Because she's a singer. I didn't know that. Samantha Irving's a singer. She's a
Yeah,
bad.
dude. So at WWE World, she sang Razor Ramon's song and then played the clarinet with it. Dude, it was fire. We got a TikTok on it. It's out there. She's fire.
Okay. 1 second. Here we go.
Had to be exhilarating, dog. Like that had to
loud.
be loud.
Whew. That gives me chills, man.
Yeah, because a lot of times when you hear it on TV, I guess it just, which I've been to several events, it just doesn't do it justice as when you're really there.
Do you know what gave me chills? Ready for the segue? Here's what gave me chills.
That's right, big dog, that vibe.
Saturday night, night one, first match, Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch. A cameraman I don't know how he did it, but he literally got an angle so good that we all could see literally.
I mean, God bless him.
Rhea's lungs. We could see her lungs from that angle. It was
I
crazy.
hope that man got a raise. What up, Noto? Big dog, that vibe. Yeah, shout out to him. What we talking about? Okay, yeah, we talking about the Rhea match. Let's go. Who wants to pop it off?
We're opening up Mania Night 1. We had the Women's World Championship, the Raw title right now. Rhea Ripley, Mommy, defeats Becky Lynch, the man, in the open match of WrestleMania 40.
Nice, solid match. I didn't really like Becky's intro. I definitely didn't like what she was wearing. Rhea looked amazing, and she came out to her own music to that band, something white. I always Motion and White, something like that.
Motionless and White.
Yeah. And it was funny because Megan messaged me out of nowhere, and she goes, Chris,
What up,
you
buddy?
guys does Rhea always come out to Emotionless and White? I'm like, yeah, it's been her theme song for years. And she like she didn't know. And like it's crazy though. This WrestleMania, Megan is now going back and watching all the old WrestleMania. She watched Raw the other night. She's watching our podcast. Like she's back into wrestling because of this WrestleMania, and she loved the Rhea match. I thought it was okay. It was a good, solid match. It was a good, solid. Becky was sick and a little bit off because I think her arm was still hurt. But there were a couple botches where I thought,
She had staph infection or something like that.
but she pulled it off. I think she's passing the torch. I really wonder. I don't want to get too into it, but I really wonder if Becky and Seth ain't leaving. I really, really wonder, man.
I
Just the
did
way-
see where Seth's contract is coming up soon.
Just the way he
Both of 'em.
acted. He started WWE in the Shield. He ended in that Shield outfit. If it
He
were
was
to end
crying
anyway,
an awful lot.
you know, yeah.
He was
It
crying
just
an
seemed
awful
like
lot.
he was talking to Cody, the way him and Cody were acting, and now Becky, the way Becky's acting. It just makes me wonder. That's all. I don't want to bury the lead and go into the whole shit about Cody's night. But Seth was there that night. He was, you know what I mean? It just felt weird. But I thought it was a good, solid match. But did you guys see that arm drag she did when she went up to the top rope, grabbed Rhea, and tried to do that? I thought she killed Rhea. Like I thought she broke Rhea's neck. And for her and Rhea both to get up out of that and continue the match, you only have like one more little off time. I thought it was a great match, man. The girls, I'm like Mo. Look, I don't want to be misogynist. We're not misogynist by saying this, but the girls will never be as good at this as the men are. But there are some women that are an exception. Girls like Charlotte, girls like Bayley, girls like Becky, girls like Rhea. They put on a hell of a show. They're phenomenal. They're a lot better than the fucking Ronda Rouseys of the world. That's just all I'm going to say about
Trash.
that. No.
Ronda's what I
Yeah.
call her.
Or the other one. Shayna doesn't impress me. You know,
What?
Shayna doesn't impress me.
I think Shayna is probably one of the most like technical of the group, and she wrestled Bloodsport against Masha Slamovich, and they blew the house down. And
There's literally someone with the last name Slamovich.
That's her wrestling last name.
That's really cool. I might have to start watching NXT. I might have
So
to
we
get
have-
more into NXT.
The big
But
dog
that's TNA,
says, yeah,
that's
some of
TNA.
them are outdoing the men.
Yeah, there's
So
a
Big
few of them
Dog
that
is
do.
a woman.
There's a few of them that
Yeah.
are outdoing the men, but for the most part, you get a lot of botches. Like, look, we all watched the Women's Royal Rumble. It was fun as hell, but did you count how many botches there were? How slow and off time it was. It just happens. I think a lot of it's nerves, but these women can carry a show. They've proved it. They've main evented WrestleManias before. It can be done.
They've had their
Yeah.
had their own pay-per-view before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Evolution.
I got to give a lot of credit to Rhea and Becky because Rhea's just amazing, but Becky put the whole women's sport on her back there for a while. You know, the last person
Yeah.
I ever seen as over as Rhea was Becky when she was doing the whole "I'm the man" thing. I haven't
I'm,
never, you know.
I'm 50-50 on this as far as I'm not a Becky Lynch fan at all, but I am a huge Rhea Ripley fan. And not just because her ass is fantastic.
No, she's good at what she does. Yeah, Mo,
She
I
is
know.
a fantastic, not just in my opinion, there are good women wrestlers and then there's good wrestlers that are women. And Rhea is just a good wrestler that happens to be a woman. I
She's
love how it
strong.
started out. I
Yeah.
love how it started out WrestleMania. I thought her entrance was fire. I think WrestleMania is about entrances. It's about stories, but it's a lot about new songs, new outfits, the glitz, the glamour, the glory. And I thought Rhea brought it. She set the tone. Thought night 2 was better than night 1, but I think Rhea was one of the really bright spots in night 1. If I had to say anything about the match, I would say that I do like how she spiked her twice with what's her move called? Where it's the pump handle slam.
The Riptide.
Oh, Riptide.
Yeah, the
Riptide.
Riptide.
Yeah, Riptide.
Yeah, like with Rhea being or with Becky being so little, man, it looked like she just manhandles her for real and just wham.
Oh,
just
that's
slam.
another thing I wanted to ask you guys real quick. Listen, the Riptide move, okay? Becky's married to who? Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins
Yeah.
has that crazy move he does where he throws somebody in the buckles, right? Do you think
Buckle
Rhea?
bomb.
Yeah. Do you think Rhea riptiding her on the buckle bomb and then riptiding her again was like a send off? Like was that a shot at Seth? Like, yeah, That's your husband. I'm gonna buckle bomb your ass. I just wondered if that might have been a little inside joke, you know?
No, but like one of my favorite spots was when Becky had the disarmer on her. Rhea gets out and then does the power bomb to get off. Becky holds it, and then she has to do it 2 more times to break it, and then that's when she, I think, goes for the last riptide to finish the match. But I was like, I like how they're transitioning very well towards the end. Like in the beginning, they were kind of a little rough with the transitions.
They were a little off timing.
Yeah, but towards the end, they were fluid with what they were doing.
I mean, shout out to Becky. She took some serious bumps. That electric chair thing where you stand on their shoulders and they body slam you back out on the mat. Whoa, that looked painful. Yeah. That looked so
what up? I'm that guy.
I'm that guy.
Edge is the one person that used to do that all the time. I think he was the only one that you would do that. And then now
that ain't what fucked his neck up, because that's a bump, bro. That's a bump.
Yeah. But like I think another reason why they did the open was because of Becky going through the sickness, and it was, the best way to deal with that is get her in and get her out right away.
Yeah.
With the sickness.
And they did a good solid 15, 20 minutes, you know. It was a good match. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. The next match that we have, like going from that to this one, the tag title ladder match, Awesome Truth and A-Town Down Under won the titles. Yeah. You had Awesome Truth grabbed the Raw, and then A-Town Down Under grabbed the SmackDown. Judgment Day were in it, DIY were in it, New Day were in it, and New Catch Republic were in this. I just want to say before I let any of you say anything, that fucking Tommaso Ciampa spot that he always does, holding the guy behind head first, then driving him down to the mat. Like, if you guys remember War Games, he did it to Adam Cole off the cage onto a table. I thought this one might have been worse, which is saying something. You're
talking about the spot they did right in the ring, but when dude smacked the side of his face, bro, I thought he knocked him out. Bro. I was like, that's a bump. And you got to remember, the night you guys were watching this, I was over on the nerd stream with guys that haven't watched the WrestleMania since they were little kids, and they were screaming at this ladder match, like, "Oh my god!" Because they haven't seen this shit before. We see it all the time. You know what I mean? But guys,
I just want to let you know, Big Dog on TikTok says that he is enjoying himself. So just want to let you know.
Nice,
also,
nice.
We got that guy. What we got going? We got Big Bill in the building. We have a couple people. So shout out to the boys and girls.
Shout out to you guys, man. Shout out to you guys for enjoying the banner.
For a lot of these guys, they haven't watched it since they were kids. For others, they got their cherries popped that night. Okay, well, none of them would shut up about Rhea. They had never seen her before, and they wouldn't shut up about it. You know what I mean? That proves she's got that look. You know what I mean? And she's good. Then we go to this ladder match, and they were freaking out. And then a lot of them kept asking me, "Chris, is the ladder supposed to look like that?" And I'm like, "No, the ladder's not supposed to look like that." And then they all laughed at R-Truth. R-Truth did a great bit where he threw it, and Miz played into it. Where Miz
tag me. What made it even better was the fact that for months he's been like, tag me in, and then he's like, it's not even a tag match. you got to do this. And then he was just like, on Saturday he was just like, fuck it, tag.
Now we all kind of thought. We all kind of knew Awesome Truth was going to win, but I had New Catch Republic because it just felt to me like they were trying to put these guys over since Elimination Chamber. But I guess you guys are right about A-Town Underground, like A-Town Down Under.
A-Town Underdog.
Yeah, whatever. Here's what I call them. I call them Austin Theory, and I already forgot the other guy's name.
Grayson Waller.
I want too many gummies. And remember, they made it look like, here's another reason I didn't think it was going to happen. They made it look like Grayson was going to turn heel on Austin. They made it look like they were going to turn on each other. So then winning the belts but R-Truth getting his moment was great. There were a few flops in the match. Damian Priest killed it. They all killed it in this match, man. But that ladder, the ladder's supposed to look like that. It was so much fun. Well, that was a really fun match. And it was chaos.
That's what that's what it's supposed to be. Chaos. It's spot fest. They try to get everybody to have their moment, kind of like the Royal Rumble, where you come in, get your moment right away, and then boom, you get thrown over or you get knocked down. They're trying to make sure everybody gets a spot in the match.
The ladder, I don't know. We never saw him again after that. Was it Theory or was it Waller? We didn't see him again after that.
Well, they already had their belts by then. They were trying to get greedy and go for the second set.
I was just hoping nobody was hurt, but I had a lot of fun with that
Well,
match. All my friends were freaking out.
I'm just
and
glad
you guys
that
did
they
call
split
it.
the titles up.
You guys did call it A-Town Down Under. A-Town Down Under. I'm sorry. A-Town Underground.
Right,
Why did I'm so
forgive
dumb.
you.
A-Town Down Under. You guys did call that shit. Right down. You called it right.
Dude, we did.
We did.
I did.
Damn right we did.
I did win night one. Just so
you almost picked DIY. I remember that though. You almost picked DIY. I remember you talking about it. You almost did.
Could have, would have.
Is it fitting that I lost night one because of an eagle?
Yeah, it's kind of fitting. I mean,
yeah, kind of fitting. I'm just gonna say that. We did
pretty good though. We did pretty good. I think we only got 1 or 2 picks wrong out of the whole WrestleMania, all of us. So
I think more than that, but like I know Mo won night one and then I won night two. That's all I know.
So I think that means if there's 2 nights, and so I don't know. I'm not now. A lot of people, I'm more known for my brawn than my brains. I get it.
Yeah.
But if there's 2 nights and I won 1 and Cage won 1, how many did Chris win?
I think I won. I thought I won the second one.
Oh, fucking 0!
No, that's not true. We had the exact. As a matter of fact, we had the exact same picks on night 2.
So you had Cody? You had Cody?
No, I had Cody. You guys know I had Cody. Oh, yeah. I went perfect night 2. I don't.
No, because I'm pretty sure you said Randy was going to win.
No, I said everybody knows I said I wanted Randy to turn heel, that Logan was going to win. We have video proof of this. You can go back and watch.
Okay, we're going to have to go back to the stat checker later on and get a ruling on this. And
I went perfect. I think me and Mo both went. We both had 1 wrong on night 2. I can't remember the one I got wrong. He got Roman wrong, and I got shit.
And I really got coerced into switching my pick. Just so I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it, but I'm saying it. You know what I mean?
And then I got 1 loss because I flipped the coin between the Final Testament and and then once they had Boy Ray come out, I was like, fuck it. I'm going to lose now.
We knew the Street Profits were going to win. They hadn't had anyone.
We didn't. We
talked about this. Well, okay, we didn't know it 100%, but we all talked about this. We were like, they got to give Bobby the win. They're making him look like a bitch. We need Beast Mode Bobby.
And they still made him look like a bitch.
I thought that was a fun match.
We had this one. Big Dog.
It was.
Big Dog said it was made for Roman to lose, and then that girl Hannah just comes in. What up, girl Hannah?
What up? Thanks for tuning in to us. Well, just to end the thing with the tag match, I think they did the perfect thing. You get the feel-good moment with the Awesome Truth. R-Truth finally gets his WrestleMania moment. He gets that win. I feel like he hasn't been on WrestleMania in like a decade. And A-Town Down Under, they're a hero group that you can kind of push up now. Like, they might not hold it for long, but it's like, I think Grayson Waller is
they won't hold it for long, but they'll be a good little team.
Yeah, no,
Grayson Waller
I like them both. Yeah, they're both fun to watch.
Yeah. Grayson Waller is a national treasure.
Yeah,
that guy is great on the mic. You can hate him, but you gotta like him because he knows how to talk.
No, he does,
and he's very entertaining.
The talk show thing, like Piper's Pit, Jericho. Yeah, what was Jericho's called?
It was the highlight reel.
Yeah, the highlight reel. Yeah.
What did he have? The Jericho 2000 or something like
that? The Jeritron 2000.
Yeah.
He broke it over somebody's head one time. I remember it was funny shit.
Next match is probably the most Roman. This didn't live up to the hype.
Man,
Jey Uso defeats Jimmy Uso.
What a letdown. That's when I got wrong. Jimmy. I had Jimmy win.
I did too. I was very confident Jimmy was going to win. And then they did the complete opposite. No interference, no solo. There was botches in the match. It was just I don't know.
nerves, maybe. I don't know what was wrong with those two that night, but it was a total letdown. And that was my most that was my my third, because LA Knight and fucking AJ I really wanted to see too. But this one was up there. This was a big one for me, man. Like, this one was important to me. I can tell you the one that wasn't important to me. Gunther. But I mean,
you were one of the very few. I'll say that.
I know.
Everybody's talking great things about that one.
No, it turned out to be a great match. What I'm saying is, I wasn't excited about it at first. It turned out to be a phenomenal match. But Ark shot about one thing. Shout out to Ark. I don't know why he kept going over there. We'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, I had Jimmy to win this one. It wasn't very good, and believe it or not, their spot on night 2 was more exciting than their whole match on night 1. I'm not sure, Cage, but I think, on video. I'm not sure, but I think their hype vignette was longer than their match.
Do you think that there was a chance that they cut some of Jimmy and Jay to give the main event more time?
That, or I saw one of them.
Because something had to.
Yeah, it just felt off.
Something, bro. Because think about this.
Let's see how long they gave Jimmy and Jay.
So if I had a twin brother that our father is a wrestling legend, we would come up with a way better match than that. So there had to be something come along that jacked their stuff up to where they could only fit 20 super kicks in or something. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. How is it possible where they had 2 matches that had the same exact time? This one and the next one, which was like 11 minutes and 5 seconds. It was one of the shortest matches on like
the whole card. It was the shortest match. I don't know.
Third shortest. But I felt like it was only like 20, 30 seconds less than the LA Knight AJ Styles match. But I felt like a lot more happened in the AJ Styles match than in this match.
Yeah, that might have been it. Like they might have been pressed for time, guys, and told the other guys, look, you guys got to each shave like 5 minutes off.
I will say this. What I did, since all I've heard is negativity about this match, I will be positive, Mo, in this and try to say, if you do want to take one thing out of this match, what you can take out of it is that brief interaction at the very end where Jay didn't super kick Jimmy.
Didn't want to kick his brother. Yeah.
If they could have somehow built the match around that, instead of that just being like a move they did, you know what I mean? That was just a move that they pulled out their thing and hit him with it. That should have been built from the moment they were both in the ring. They should have built to that moment instead of worrying about super kicks and what moves we're going to do. Let's think of more actions, and let's think of the theatrics and the cinema around this, and let's do something that way, because that part of it was a very, good moment of the match. And you're like, what are you doing? And that's what it's for. Yeah. You're supposed to go just like when you're watching Walking Dead or whatever. What are you doing?
No, really think about it. When you think about it, they are brothers, right? When you think about it, they're twin brothers, but Jimmy is considered the older one. So the older brother is literally manipulating the little brother. I'm sorry. And the little brother can't bring himself to pull the trigger and put his big brother down. And what does his big brother do? Snaked him on it. That's a great moment.
I felt like they could have slowed it down a bit. They rushed it. I felt like
they had to.
The moment.
I think they had to.
I don't think they had to. I just think they rushed what they had. They should have milked it a little bit, got the crowd into it a little bit more, kind of slowed down the pace of the movement so everybody could kind of get into it. They could feel the tension. They could feel him not wanting to hit his brother, him having that emotion inside of him, do I do this? Do I not do this? What do I do? Because then that's when you catch the eye of everybody, where everybody gets captivated, wondering, is he going to kick him? Is he going to forgive him and let him up? And then boom, out of nowhere, then you get the turn.
Let me ask you guys this. Let me ask you guys this. It's just one moment in night 2, but we did watch him disappear into the ether and fall through 19 tables. Do we get a rematch?
I didn't see that.
You were on the other side. You couldn't see it.
Yes.
But do we get a rematch?
No.
We're not going to get a rematch of the brothers?
No. I
Yeah,
think
that was that.
it's like boom, you do it there. Maybe you might get interaction later on. Maybe they get drafted this same show. We won't know that. But
Oh,
as
that's
we
right.
saw on
I keep
Monday,
forgetting the fucking draft is coming. I keep
We
Yeah,
will
the
know.
dra-
Hey, we will know if it's over if Jimmy doesn't interfere in his championship match with Jay being the number one contender. If it doesn't
we're not going
end,
to talk about. We won't talk about who the champion is.
oh yeah, no. But that's how we will know if that storyline is done. Also, I'll add, we got Big Dog right here. Big Dog says, also, if the father came out, it would have made it way more emotional.
That's what we all wanted. We all wanted that. We didn't get it.
I get that, but you can't just bring the father out of nowhere.
I'll be right back, Noah.
I think you
No,
would have had
I'm
to
just saying,
brought
you
him
have-
back.
That would have been a huge surprise and a huge pop. Rikishi comes out and then clunks their fucking heads together and tells them to get their shit straight. There's an end to the story right there. Let's do what Dad says. We got to stop fighting.
Yeah, but like, dude, it's not part of the big story that's going on right now.
Right, there might be
Like,
something different going on. I feel
there could be, and we got to wait and see. Like, there's so much more to talk about that has to do with that, that we're going to get into. But it's like he didn't fit the story because he's never part of it. They never introduced him, so you can't just introduce him at the end at WrestleMania, right there at the end of the match. Like, oh, just get together when one's a baby face and one's a heel. Like, it just doesn't work like that, you know. And maybe if you introduced him like a couple months ago when they were together and he was like, "Get your shit together," and then they branched apart, and then boom, then he comes here and says, "What did I tell you? Get your shit together. I told you guys months ago." And then did it? It would have worked with that, but you never introduced him to begin with. He was never there, so it would have been kind of like that, kind of like fake ending to me. It would have been like a rushed story, like, oh, here we are. They're using this to try and polish this up, and because they want it to mean something, because it was kind of a flat match, rushed, whether it was for time or whether they just didn't have that cohesiveness as like opponents. Like sometimes two great wrestlers just don't mesh well together. They just
we've seen it.
They put on a great match. Yeah, it just doesn't work. And then
they tried it with Cena and Orton, and it just didn't work. You know.
No, Cena and Orton was great. They had it. Cena and Orton was probably had a great example.
They had a good rivalry, but they didn't have the kind of energy.
Great.
Yeah.
No, they had the energy. They had people captivated. There was a good guy and there was a bad guy. They had them on rivals for a reason because of the way.
I just never really got as invested into it with everybody, like as everybody else did. It's a good rivalry, you know.
Yeah.
Oh no, hold on, not Cena and Randy, Batista and Randy.
Oh yeah.
Randy,
definitely, yeah. I was about to say, I was like, are we thinking of the right rivalry? Because
because when you said they were on rivals, I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. That was I'm thinking of Batista. I said Cena on accident.
See, if they tried to force that one because of the whole Daniel Bryan thing, and then everything after that, it was kind of like they were just trying to one up each other. Like that was their point of that. He said, "Later, guys, heading to bed. Got to get up for work." But thanks for tuning in.
Later, Dale.
As always. Later. We always can count on you. But peace. But other than that, I'll just say, like, I would have done Jimmy to grow Jimmy, but I can see why they wanted to have Jay win because of main event Jey Uso. So they want to push him. We saw him Raw. I won't talk about the details until later, but Jay did become number one contender.
I didn't even know that.
Title.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
I'll be right back. Go to the next match. I'll be right back.
Well, I need you for the next match because it's your favorite match. And the Intercontinental Championship.
No. It ended up being a great match, and I understand why people like Gunther so much. I went back and looked at his shit. Gunther's a bad motherfucker. He's just a boring character to me. He's just a boring ass character to me.
What was that?
He said he was heading to bed, so I told him appreciate him dropping in.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Gunther, and we have ways of making you talk. You know, I am the new age.
I can't deal with that.
I just don't like his character, man. I just don't. He's a great wrestler, but I just don't like his character.
I think that's what captivates me with him is his character because
I'll be right
he's
back.
smug. He talks about being the ring general, where he controls the ring. It's sacred because he's there.
I will say this: does it not piss you off whenever Ludwig Kaiser goes like how he says ring general? Dude, it pisses me off. It's supposed to, but it pisses me off.
And what did I tell you? That man knows how to whip that coat off of Gunther. It's like he whips it out and just holds it like it's like.
Dude, he does what?
It's calling. Whips that coat off of Gunther. Like,
dude, you said he whips it out. Is what you said? Like, dang.
He whips the coat off of Gunther like it's nothing. Like he's never even practiced it. It just happens. It's fluid.
Whip it.
But they start this very interesting. Like you'll see it on night 2 also. But you see Sammy about to walk out, greet his family, goes in the grill, and then you see Kevin Owens there, and Kevin Owens says, "Come on, get it done, get it done." At that point, and then he also at that point, I'm like, okay, he had his family come, then he had Chad Gable go, get this, and then he goes, "You owe me one," and I'm like, and then you have Kevin Owens. I'm like, oh, this guy's gonna win. They're not gonna do all this to have him lose. They have him owe Chad Gable one, but then not have anything to offer him in return if he loses. It was a great match. It was a great Rocky story of David versus Goliath, Rocky versus Ivan Drago, where you're losing, and then you have to pull out deep to fight back and get the victory. There's just one minor thing that kind of irritated me, like Ark and me talked about it. I'm pretty sure you probably thought the same thing was he focused way too much on Sammy's wife.
Papa Zoe in the house.
What up? What up?
What up?
What up? Hey. Like he was winning the match. He was dominating the match, just landing like frog splash after frog splash, a power bomb, and then power bomb, getting irritated, getting flustered every time Sammy kicked out. Then he started to just look at Sammy's wife, and he was starting like just mocking her, like kind of taking his eye off the ball. And I guess that would transition for WWE.
I feel like Ark was definitely right about. Out of all the shit he said, that was annoying as fuck. It makes no sense. It makes no sense for the storyline. This is Gunther. He doesn't make mistakes like that. He definitely doesn't give a shit about someone in the crowd. Like, I don't understand why they did it. I guess they just needed a reason for him to lose.
Well, I know why they did it, because it made him lose focus, and then he took his eye off of Sami Zayn, and that's what was the transition from him dominating to Sami Zayn catching him off guard. I just thought they could have done a better way. Maybe if they would have had him do that, like the weeks come up to
it. Talking shit to him, something. Had her talking. It was nothing. Kept like zeroing in.
But they just had him randomly do it. Like maybe it was just him like being so confident in himself because he was the longest reigning IC champion, kind of like Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns was being so confident in his match that we're talking to. Maybe it was the same aspect. He was so confident that he was going to win that he took his eye, started to gloat, got cocky, and then he got caught off guard by Sammy. And then that's when Sammy did the 2 hell of a kicks and won the match. We knew eventually that he was going to drop the belt and have to move up to the main event scene because he had already done so much to push himself to the moment that, boom, you need somebody to take the belt off of. And a lot of people wanted Chad Gable, but now I'm like, okay, now I see what they're doing. I see the vision because you had him on Raw go to Chad Gable, they tag team together, and he goes, "I owe you one. Yes, I know you owe you one." And then Chad was like, "No, you did this one." And he was like, "I'm just joking. I know what you want. You want a title shot. That's what I owe you one, and I'm going to give you the title shot next week in Montreal, my hometown." You know what's going to happen. Chad's going to turn heel on Sammy, win the belt. Yeah, because there's no reason why he goes from being in an Apple Academy to wearing a suit every week for the last month.
Okay, but if there's no plans to have him take the belt off Sammy in his hometown.
that's why it would be a shock, the shock and awe moment, having him lose the title in his hometown. Last year, he lost the head to Roman Reigns in his hometown in Elimination Chamber. Now he's going to lose the title here because he's going to drop it. The only other way I could think of is if Sammy turns heel to keep the belt. He does everything he can to pull out all stops.
I think something happens next week. There's a run-in or something. They're not able to finish their match, and they stretch the story out to SummerSlam, and they have a really great match. Why wouldn't they do that?
You can't, because that's 4 months away. That's too long. That's too long of a storyline.
Okay, Backlash. Save it for a pay-per-view is all I'm saying. Backlash then. You know?
Maybe they have a rematch after this.
Okay,
maybe they do that where you have a clear defined. Okay, this is the start of a rivalry. You have this guy turn on this guy.
I'm just going by what you said. You said it was. You said it was too soon to turn Gable heel.
No, I didn't say it was too soon. You did. I like the fact
I was just repeating what you said.
No, I said it was great that he's going to.
I want him to turn heel. I think it's great. I think it's a great idea. You know.
What about you, Mo?
I'm working on TikTok. I'll be right back.
Mo's in the shadow realm doing TikTok.
Yeah, because I'm having to do both. I'll be right back.
No, you're good. But you got Sami Zayn, you got Gunther. I'm wondering how long they're going to keep Gunther off TV and where they take him now. Like,
he's championship picture. He's climbing the ranks.
Yeah.
You know, for sure. He'll get.
But I wonder.
He'll get a couple Raw main events or something. You know what I mean? Or he'll get a number one contender match, something like that. They might have him duke it out with Jay for a while.
As Zoe says, it is too early to have Sammy drop the belt. He needs
that's what I said. Zoe should be in here.
Okay.
Why ain't Zoe in here? He should be in here.
Hey Zoe, do you want to come in and talk with us, or are you too busy? I can drop the link.
I always forget what a busy dude he is, man. He's probably in like fucking Brazil or some shit.
Why is it gotta be Brazil?
Because I know he does work in South America, or he's been there before.
Oh, okay.
I remember that he's done work down there.
Okay. Hey, I don't know if you're busy, Zoe, but if you want to come in, I'm gonna drop the link on YouTube for you. Here it is. If you do want to come in,
I remember shit about Zoe because he's one of the only people I ain't never got into it with. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Good people, but like I could see that if they do that, Sammy has to turn heel.
That's all right.
That's okay.
Didn't Sammy just come off of it? Well, technically, he was a heel.
No,
didn't he just come?
Sammy,
what do you mean no?
Sammy has been a babyface for over a year and a half.
When did he? No, really? When did that bloodline shit happen?
It happened. It started 6 months before last Mania and it ended at Mania. But he had turned babyface 14 months ago. So he's
So he's been babyface for a while now. Yeah.
All right, I'm back. So
okay.
All right, so just break down on the whole Sammy Gunther. I didn't hear a whole lot what y'all said because I was handling something, but the beginning, how Sammy had his wife, his kid. It's whiny ass Sammy all the time. I'm the underdog. Blah blah blah. Whiny, fucking whiny. Then it's a pretty good match, but like you say, Cage, it was ridiculous how many times Gunther paid attention to Sammy's whatever wife, and just seemed to be the story of the match. And if it wasn't Gunther, ring general, then it wouldn't be as magnifying. But with him supposed to be the ring general, the technician of all technicians, you can't just be a basic wrestler and beat him. For him to lose because of the most elementary type style booking, to say, is kind of stupid to me. Then you have, well, let me ask you this, because you know more, because that reminded me of a Japan style move. That brain buster off the top rope, was that a botch, or was it supposed to go like that?
No, it's supposed to go like that, because if you watch, I think Kevin Owens did the same one on night 2.
Gotcha. So,
yeah.
but even okay, but then 2 haluva kicks. That's all we get is 2 haluva kicks. Is after all the crazy matches we've seen, 2 haluva kicks takes out Gunther.
Didn't he do 2 other ones in the beginning of the match? It was just 2 at the end. I think he did a total of 4.
He got one before. Yeah, he got one before, and Gunther kicked out of it. And then he did 2 again after that. So that's 3 that I know of, at least.
Yeah, I think he did a total of 4. And then Zoe said, Gunther match turned out how I thought it would. WWE wants Gunther to be in the heavyweight championship picture. Exactly. I was thinking of this just now. Like, you know how you're like, the guy's family in. It irritates me how he was whiny and this and that. Wouldn't that be a perfect way to turn Sammy heel? Is because you're already getting pissed at him. They're already irritated that he's whining and getting his family involved and getting emotional. Wouldn't that be the perfect way to turn a guy heel? Because he finally gets the belt, but then he wants to keep it at all costs because of that, because he doesn't want to let his family down. So he resorts to the grimiest, the cheapest of ways to retain against a guy like Chad Gable, who he wanted to win the belt to begin with. We wanted Chad Gable in that spot and not Sami Zayn.
So that's how you think that they're going to get us on board with the Chad Gable Sammy? Because you're right. I mean, in wrestling, in theory, you don't have to have babyface versus heel, but it never works out babyface versus babyface.
Yeah.
That never.
Nah.
But if you want to get a storyline, if you want to get something out of these two, because of course you take the belt off of Gunther. If you did Chad versus Gunther, Chad wins, but it doesn't really get you a way to carry Chad to the next storyline. You kind of have to build from there. But if you do it this way, you can kind of build off of it because Chad was already part of it. He helped Sammy. He told Sammy, I want that favor. So Sammy wins. He gets that moment in front of his family. He pulls that shit. Then like I said, then he goes to Chad and goes, yeah, I know. I owe you that favor. Next week in Montreal, we're going to have the title match. So you have to do something there to carry it on.
You might be right. Because this is Sammy. Look, he got his WrestleMania moment again. This is his 4th title run as IC champ. I can see him dropping the belt and putting somebody over like Chad Gable. I could absolutely see that. Yeah, I can see that.
Like I picture him winning, them having a rematch at Backlash in France, and like whoever wins is on one show, then whoever loses, they're going to wind up being on the other show because it's going to be after the draft. Say Chad loses, then you could just have Chad go for the U.S. title. I feel like that U.S. title would fit him more than the Continental title because he's already an American wrestler.
Yeah, you know what? All-American guy, man. Another Kurt Angle type. Absolutely. Why wouldn't he go after Logan Paul?
And then maybe this is just me talking out of my ass, but like if you look at it down the line, you put him and Logan Paul on the same show at SummerSlam in Cleveland, where Logan Paul is from, and then you have Logan Paul drop the title to Chad Gable, that U.S. title. I don't know. That might be me talking out of my ass, but I kind of like that better than I do Chad Gable being the IC champion.
If I was booking, I'm good at storylines, fellas. You know I can hype people up. If I was booking, Chad Gable has the IC belt already. He goes after the U.S. belt, and then they tell him on Raw the next night, you've got to pick which belt you want to keep, and you got to vacate the other one. And he, being the All-American wrestler, decides to keep the U.S. title, and he makes the IC vacant, and then you get a tournament. Yeah. You get a tournament for the IC title. Think of all the great things you could do with that. And Gable's holding the U.S. title. I mean, no.
No. Zoe said Zoe says my thought is KO and Sammy are either baby faces together or heel together. They've been separated. Like they've had years where one like Sami Zayn was a heel and then Kevin was a baby face and then vice versa in the very beginning. They've only been the same thing together for maybe like a year they were baby faces together, and then
And Zoe's great, but don't change the subject. What you mean no? What do you mean no?
no,
Don't change the
He
subject.
was basically saying that he thinks your idea is dog shit.
All
is
right,
what it
fine.
is.
I think I could write a good storyline. You know what we should do? We should have a
Oh,
contest
good.
when a channel gets a little bit better. We have a contest where each one of us has to write a storyline, and everybody votes on what the best storyline is. And
How
we
about you listen to Freddie Prinze Jr. and we'll call it a day.
Hey man, Freddie, look. I don't like Freddie. I'm gonna be honest. I like Rivals. I don't like Freddie.
That dude is very knowledgeable. I'll give him that. And he was a Ray.
No, he's a great actor too. I just don't like all that fucking anti. Oh, you motherfuckers or butthurt snowflakes because you didn't like.
Whoa.
You didn't like right. And that's what he said to us Star Wars fans. He's like, you pussies are just mad because Han Solo gave the Millennium Falcon to a girl. I'm like, wow.
Okay. So now we know where this is going. Now we know why you're mad.
He's a lefty lib. He's a hardcore lefty lib type.
Okay.
You know?
Take Star Wars out of it.
Okay. I love him if we take Star Wars out of it. I love Freddie.
Why the hell do they even do a draft anymore? They never stick to it. Exactly. I agree with it.
Because the draft is fun. Because it's fun.
Because it's a ratings boost.
Yes.
And they do keep certain people on certain shows, but then it's like not
Roman
stuck
left
in
Raw for a long time.
Yeah, like there's certain people that stay on their show, but then there's other people that float. I think when I think of it now,
off forever. You know what I mean? He had to come back.
When I think of the draft now, like I don't think that it's going to be they're stuck on the show. I think if the storyline tells it to, they go to the other show to appear. Otherwise, they stay on their show because that's where I'm just gonna not care anymore because I know some people are gonna appear on Raw even if they're drafted to SmackDown. We've had Odyssey Jones get drafted to Raw and he has yet to appear on Raw, and then he does live shows on SmackDown. So what was the point of drafting him if he was never going to get used?
Has there ever been a point that you guys like SmackDown more than Raw?
Yeah, a lot of times.
A lot of people I know are just diehard Raw. They won't go to SmackDown. When there was the brand split and you had two different pay-per-views, they wouldn't buy the SmackDown pay-per-views. They just wouldn't do it.
From 2002 to 2010, I thought SmackDown was probably the best roster.
Show. Yeah, it was a better show with the best roster. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
During that time, yeah.
Like you had all the technical wrestlers. You had like Undertaker was on there, Batista was on there too, like Eddie Guerrero, Edge, Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit, you had Chavo Guerrero. Like you had like all those technical guys, and they just meshed very well.
They had that great China. They had that great China and Eddie storyline. Yeah, that was a great time. That was a great time for SmackDown. The Vicky Guerrero and Edge thing. Yeah. That was a great time for SmackDown. Actually,
that's what so say. I was always a Raw guy into the Bloodline story. That made me have to watch both. Oh, that's cool though. At least it helped you go.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's a lot of old school guys out there that just don't watch. They didn't watch SmackDown until the Bloodline.
Here's the question, though. Was it because Raw was 3 hours and SmackDown was only 2?
I'll tell you that.
Or was there another reason?
That's a good question. I don't like the 3-hour Raw. I don't like it.
It's good if you like the promos and you like the storytelling.
I like storytelling. But if you it's just too long, man. It's too much wrestling. It's just too much.
Am I just being too picky when I say a 2-hour, 30-minute episode would be like perfect?
No, that sounds about right. Yeah, shave like a half an hour off.
Yeah, shave. Or is that just like the commercials? You know what I mean?
No, even with the commercials, the runtime's too long. The runtime's just too long.
Netflix, do you think that it's going to be a 2 or 3 hour episode?
Without commercials, I don't know if they're going to do commercials. Without commercials, I bet they do. I'm
pretty sure they won't have commercials.
Okay, then we're looking at about 2.5 hours. I'll bet Sometimes
Because you
245.
you can't put commercials on something that doesn't have commercials.
And you don't and the runtime is the runtime. You don't have to like
Yeah.
you don't have to cut to go to the next thing because it's not live TV.
Because all the
yeah.
promotions are already built on there with ads
Yeah.
or no ads.
Law and
That's
Order,
how they
Law and
do make
Order,
their own.
Law and Order Special Victims Unit doesn't have to come on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they're not going to promote. Oh, this is coming on next because it's going to be the only live things. They might promote before and after. They could promote something that's debuting, like on Netflix or whatnot, or like a show just to promote it. But it's not going to be all these commercials. I wouldn't even be surprised if it's a thing where they get more action out of the 3 hours than they would before. Well, maybe it's like an hour and a half worth of actual action, and then you have an hour and a half of commercials.
Well, I would give me an hour and a half of action and give me an hour of storyline and promos, and I'll be happy.
He said it was because Raw is Monday night and SmackDown was a Friday. Now I DVR both so I can watch them both. I'm talking 2000 until we have a DVR. Yeah, I was too lazy to set up my DVR. Okay, makes sense.
Beautiful.
Damn, you need to go back and watch that stuff, Zoe. Like, watch. Like, I remember.
You missed some great storylines, man. Some great ones.
Yeah.
Fucking Kurt Angle kissing Stephanie. Like, you missed some good shit, bro.
Dude, when I see the word VCR, you know what I think of? I think of the old ECW VHS tapes. Like,
oh my God.
Be able to get. Like, I used to have a buddy when I was 14, and we had nothing at all in common except for we liked wrestling. And one day he just was like, "Yo, I got these ECW tapes. You want to watch them?" And I had no idea what ECW was. And I was like, "Yeah." And I took it home that weekend, and I was like, "This is awesome." You had Chris Candido doing power bombs off the top rope and
crazy shit with Sabu. Yeah, man, shit was nuts. Bro. You know, when I first came home from prison, right on my second bit, the big one, the one that knocked the wind out of me. Over 5.5 years. Yeah, that one sucked, bro. I came here. I came to this town. I didn't know anything about it because I was a Chicago kid. I came to this town and there was an old guy and everybody loved wrestling. And I came home just in time for the backlash when Stone Cold came back. Does anyone remember that?
Oh, yeah.
I came home just in time for the back. And nobody wanted to pay $50. So my cousin Nikki, she goes, "Hey, there's a guy down the road. He gets them all. And then if you give him $5 and a blank tape, he'll just, at the end of the night, he'll give you a copy of it." I'm like, oh, shit. So all my shit, Mo, was already on, like, Heavy Marker, Backlash 2000. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and all my UFC shit. Dude, I was getting UFC. I was UFC shit, Mo. Does anybody remember the guy that used to do the Dragon Ball Z shit? What was his name? Him and Matt Hughes fought each other, and they both choked each other out. What the fuck was his name?
Carlos Newton.
Carlos Newton, right? That was the first pay-per-view I saw when I came home for UFC. Like that's a long time ago, bro. Carlos Newton.
Dude, I'm a fucking encyclopedia. Give me some credit. So you just gonna blow by that and not give me no credit for that, Chris?
I thought that's great. I just said Carlos Newton. That's fucking awesome.
I'm beginning to think that the heel of the show is not me, and it's Chris. I think we should call him Heel Chris now.
Because I can't remember guys like Carlos Newton and Frank Trigg and guys like that. You know how long ago that was?
Oh, I don't know. First you're profiling people. You know, the White Dragon and all that. We won't even.
Dude, this is our first night on TikTok. We don't want to bring up about how.
Okay, the Sisterhood was a lie. Someone lied to me.
We don't want to talk about the White Dragon. The White
Dragon, I misspoke. Okay. And now I'm talking. I give him always props. I really think about this, guys. Think about how much time I've done. When I first went to prison, UFC wasn't a thing. When I came home, it was up to UFC 47. I've been home and out of trouble since UFC 47. Count them up. I've been home for 253 UFCs.
I thought you were going to say days, and I was like, what?
No, I've been home for 253 UFCs. You know what I mean? Like, that's how long I've been home. Anyway, next match. And yes, I loved it. It's a great, it's the greatest Hall of Fame speech I've ever heard. It's even better than the Undertaker's.
Yeah, you hear this guy? He's trying to take
Yeah.
my job. He's saying next match. Jesus.
God,
I'm
dude.
just straight. I'm
Jesus.
just
I
trying
was
to
gonna.
keep him-
Hey, I was gonna get to Zoe's comment because I'm trying to give love
you were
to the
talking
comment
about
section.
you were accusing me of profiling, calling me a heel, and you were sticking on the story because you like that fucking
Hey,
you like that feminazi.
hey, all I'm gonna say is, as Bobby Fish once said, tell me where I'm lying.
Who the fuck is Bobby Fish?
That's all I'm gonna say. Find that out.
Does he have like a different name? Was he somebody else? Like
No.
what's it? Dean Ambrose turned into what's his name? John Moxley.
Oh shit! Look at what Zoe said.
Damn.
Oh gosh, Zoe.
Like I didn't say it. Zoe said it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey,
But
everybody.
Zoe said, "I love Paul." He said,
Everybody
"I
that
love
saw
Paul
those.
Heyman's Hall of Fame speech."
Everybody that saw those shorts loved them. They laughed, especially Mo's reaction. Oh, and your
Yeah.
reaction, Cage. Everyone likes it when I go because when you wink, everyone laughs at that. But when we get to the part where I'm like, dude, nobody gives a fuck about Dragon Lee. Nobody gives a fuck about LWO, and you go, oh my god, like everybody laughs at. And when Mo, he's like chilling back for a second, then it dawns on him, and he goes, whoa, what the fuck is with you tonight, Chris, and all this racial shit?
Dude, it was out there, dog.
White Dragon.
I had to fucking. You call a fucking spade a spade, don't you? You know what I mean? I was like, what is going on?
I was just really high. And
But
I
Zoe
really
said,
didn't think that guy was called the White Dragon. I don't know why I was getting the White Dragon mixed with the American Dragon. I don't know why I was getting those mixed up.
Because the American Dragon's white, and you.
Yeah.
"Yeah."
All right. Go to Zoe.
But he had Zoe say that Paul Heyman's. He loved the Paul Heyman Hall of Fame speech.
It's the
That
greatest
hit
speech
me.
of all time.
It is, and it hit me a little differently because, like me being in the area, I grew up watching ECW right there, 2300 Arena. I was literally there a couple weeks ago for a TNA show. I love the venue. Like I would stay up until 2 o'clock in the morning watching ECW all the time, just because I felt like it was like a thing here because it was local.
Mo's wall art has not jumped off and tried to kill him once since
Not
he put
yet.
it
It's secure, dog.
It's
Yeah,
good shit.
he's got
good shit. Look at him flexing when he reaches back. He's always got a flex. He's always
No, that's not a flex, but that right
that's
there.
see what I mean? Like, look at my forearms.
That right there. I mean, yes for it.
Blue collar.
Okay,
motherfuckers.
so the next match that we had was the 3-on-3 women's match. We had Bianca, Jade, and Naomi, who defeated Damage Control, Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane.
I'll start because I
I really
got
like-
one thing to say. I'll start because I got one thing. Squash match. That's it. Done. Yeah.
Yeah,
next.
yeah.
Go ahead. Next. Squash
No,
match.
but
You guys go ahead, talk about it.
hey, a guy that likes comics and a guy that likes that type of stuff. What did you
Oh
think
no,
about
she
the
looks
X-Men?
like the real life Storm. Like if I was going to draw Storm, you guys know I'm an artist. I've been
Hey, also,
offered to
just
do
so you
graphics.
know, Big Slime in the chat says he thinks Cody's the face now. Just so y'all know.
I think he
Shout
is
out to
too.
Slime.
If I was going to draw Storm, she would
Damn
look
right he is.
just she would and Mo said something to me that made a lot of sense last time we talked about Jade Cargill. She just
Yeah.
looked like how you would draw a woman wrestler in today's day and age. She just looks like if you were going to draw the perfect Arnold Schwarzenegger, like female Arnold, it would be Jade. It would be Jade Cargill. She is
And
sculpted to perfection, bro. She really is.
And they have inserted her on the live schedule, like the live events.
But
So
I'm
she's
sorry,
going to be
my girl.
wrestling on the live events.
But I'm sorry, the best outfit of the night. I'm sorry. Well, not of the. Well, yeah, no, still Rhea. But after Rhea, best outfit, dude. Come on, man, Naomi. She looks so good in that gold. I just love. I love that
A
style.
lot of I didn't know what she was cosplaying as because you had Jade who was Storm, you had Bianca who was
Dazzler.
Cyclops.
Dazzler.
Oh, Dazzler. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, just so y'all know, Big Slime says in 2 years, Braun's going to be the man.
I think
I
he's
give it
yeah.
a year. I give it a year, and he's the man, or at least in the picture to be the man. A year. I give it a year.
I know. I like the 2 years because then you give it enough time to breathe. You don't jump up right away because you want, like
Okay,
in
but how
2-3
long before
years,
he's
I
in
want
the
to
main
be
event? How long before he's in the main event picture, though? Is what I'm saying.
2
2
years.
years? Yeah, maybe. All right.
Because
All
I
right.
I won't lie. I want to see Cody versus Braun in a main event of WrestleMania and have Braun be the heel.
What up, Ron?
Did you
Okay, I'll
know
say this about. Okay, I'll say
that
this about
Naomi
Jade.
got a concussion in that match? Did you guys know that?
Wait, what?
And Naomi got a concussion
Uh,
during that match, but she was on the
yeah.
ground, and Asuka came down and accidentally hit her with the knee on the forehead. Yep, straight concussion, bro. Those girls put in work. They take bumps, bro.
They were fucking wrestling for approximately 30 seconds since somebody got a concussion. But this is what I'll say about Jade. This is why I have hopes about Jade is she looks pretty athletic. Okay, we'll
She
just
looks
say
phenomenal.
she looks
Yeah.
pretty fucking athletic. So, and when she did her move, you know, where she gets him up right here,
Ultimate
then she
Warrior
drops
thing.
him.
Yeah.
So how she did it to Dakota Kai, I don't remember if it was at Wrestling. Like, is that who she hit it with? Was
Yeah.
Dakota?
Yeah. And Dakota's the
she hit it
biggest one, by
was-
the way, out of all
It
those
was
women.
like a 3-step process, and to me, that's
Yeah.
like a good thing. She didn't just go sling her up here. It was like boom, 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 boom. So what that tells me is that she's in there grinding, and it's only going to be before too long until we see her doing fucking leapfrogs and all, you know, like wrestler stuff. It's just right now, like, let's do the 5 moves of doom and
Yeah,
let's
let her.
rock that for a little bit.
I don't even think she's going to get to that point where she's going to go crazy. I think they know what she has. She doesn't. Let's put it this way, like Hulk Hogan said, if you don't have to do all that much, don't do it, because you can do. The people are just going to be enamored with
Here's what I
your
want.
athleticism that you can get away with only having to do 5, 6, 7 moves.
I want the Clash of Titans, man. That's what I want. You got 2 girls out there that are extremely athletic. They're super huge. I want Jade Cargill and Rhea. That is the Clash of Titans right there, man.
You're not going to get that for years.
Fuck Nia Jax. I don't give a shit about Nia Jax. You know
I'll tell you what, I think that what were you just saying, Cage? You said you thought what?
He's just
No, I
doing the
thought
Nia Jax thing. I mean, I love her.
No.
She's beautiful, but she's been worked before. She's been the heel so many times. Give Jade Cargill a challenge.
I think they need to have Jade be a special attraction. I need her to be what China was for the first couple of years, where she's barely wrestling.
What up? No, so what I was gonna say was you know how Undertaker kept it basic.
Yeah.
Unless it was the big time. If it's big time, we're seeing big moves. That's what I think that Jade can get to is we'll call her basic Jade, basic 5 moves of doom Jade on Raws and SmackDowns.
What up, broadcast? What's going on, man?
Random shows, but the big time shows, you'll be able to see her to kind of do something spectacular in there.
Yeah. Broadcast, great guy in Australia. This guy he does a lot of gaming on his YouTube channel. Check him out under the Broadcast Podcast and Gaming on YouTube. He plays the game through, he does walkthroughs and all of them. Definitely check this guy out.
Cool. I'm on my racing stuff right now, but I'll definitely give him a shout out. Look.
Also, real quick, shout out to Brian. They ask, I always wonder why Edge don't be in the same conversation with Roman, Rock, and them. What you think about that? Should Edge be in the same conversation?
We've always put Edge in there. Us 3 have. We've always had Edge. Well, as a heel anyway. He's always been in our top 5.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, is he saying as a heel or just as a wrestler?
As the greatest. Oh, Edge is definitely one of the GOATs. He'd be in my top 10. Absolutely. Edge would be in my top 10.
I say if he had like a pyramid and you got like the top, he would probably be in the 2nd or 3rd tier.
Yeah, I would definitely. Yeah, Edge. But everyone knows how I feel about Edge. He's like I've been watching him since a kid. When he was up in the crowd. When he was with Gangrel and them, the Brood. You know what I mean? Like, I've been watching Edge for a long time, so he would be in my top 10 without a doubt. And he's my. And everyone knows, as much as I love Randy and as much as I love Triple H, I've always said Edge is my favorite heel of all time. He's always been my number 1. Always.
Like he was like one of those weird heels, though. He wasn't a better heel than Randy, fucking punting guys in the face, legends,
Randy's great.
and
He's
then
a
just doing
legend killer.
despicable things.
But yeah,
But
no,
he was doing more.
But Edge was more of a. He was like another Triple H. He was cerebral. He would fuck you. He would mind fuck you, and then he would be the ultimate opportunist. And by the way, while the Matt Hardy shit was going on in real life, they did that live sex show thing on. I mean, that's evil.
Yeah. That's not evil. That's just risque.
Edge and Randy flip flop back and forth for me a lot, man. But after watching, I'll tell you another thing. After watching that documentary on Jake the Snake, he might crack that top 10. Jake the Snake was
man. That's next level, especially with the shit and why he hates the Ultimate Warrior with that, because of that. Like he was supposed to win the title. Like Jake the Snake was supposed to have a title run right before WrestleMania 8, and then he never got to have it because of Ultimate Warrior not doing what he was supposed to do. And that's why you wind up getting him versus Macho Man, and it wound up being so bigger than what it was.
Did you hear about even though they devenomized that Cobra, when you get where you get sick as fuck because of the bacteria? Randy knew he was going to get sick and still took that bite. That's crazy.
Because Zoe, I do not think you can put Nia in the ring with Jade. Nia needs someone with more experience. Nia would probably put Jade on the shelf. Nia has done a lot better in the last 6 months with that. I think she could carry it, but I would agree. Maybe wait like 6 months to a year when Jade is more polished to put her in the ring with Nia Jax to when they can work together. They did have a good spot later on.
Zoe. I mean, I don't want to argue with Zoe because he's right around my age. Zoe's old school like me. But when I think of Edge, I don't just think of singles Edge and heel Edge. I think of the shit he did as a tag team partner. This man has some of the greatest moves, greatest tag team of all time, by the way. I don't care what anyone says. Greatest tag. The Hardys are great, but greatest tag team of all time. Edge would definitely be in the top 10.
Time out.
What up?
We got a breakthrough. Shout out to Slime, our first TikTok to YouTube transferee. Get on, hell yeah!
Oh hell yeah!
Oh hell yeah! Slime,
yeah. Do we got a yeah? Hit the yeah, man. Yeah. We don't have one.
Hold on. Do I gotta get the year?
You're the producer. You're supposed to have this shit ready on top. What is wrong with you?
Oh my god damn it! Like you're such a heel, and I love it so much.
You're so wrong.
Because you do it just.
Why are you trying to do the double turn? You're the heel. Yeah. You're always going to be the fucking heel.
I am just another guy. That's all I'm gonna
you are the New Jersey Sheamus. That's what I'm going to start calling you, Ginger. The New Jersey Sheamus. Really? I mean, Zoe might be right. Top 10 might be. Zoe might be right. Top 10 might be. I might be giving Edge a little too much.
Johnny Autism Wrestling. I'm taking a vacation from AEW. I'm probably not coming back to AEW. They really made me upset, and they proved Punk right. I disagree. They didn't prove Punk right, but then they don't. They didn't do themselves any favors.
It was a nothing burger, guys. It was a big, fat nothing
burger.
Now,
you see, you don't like because you don't watch it. You don't know exactly what they're trying to do. I told Mo, it was a bad. How should I say this? It was a bad timing.
I'm listening. I'm going to go drain the main vein. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But it was bad timing.
It was absolutely bad timing. It was, but it was also but you wonder what? You call that a fight? No.
But they weren't fighting because CM Punk cheap shotted him when he wasn't looking. Like you could tell.
Yeah, no, that's shitty. Yeah, you could tell.
He punched him and whatnot. But like CM Punk was in the wrong there, and he made himself look bad there, but at the same time, it's like it just sucks that they put this out a week after CM Punk went out and decided to air the laundry when he was like, "Oh, we're not going to talk about it," because there's no volume for a reason. The whole point of the showing it was to prolong the FTR thing, and then if you watch beforehand, Nick Jackson's wearing a scapegoat shirt. Last week on Dynamite, he came out with the shirt, came out and said, "Scapegoat, I love your work." They are planning to bring Jack Perry back as a heel, as part of the Elite with the Young Bucks.
An argument
It's
could be
just
made
that,
for that, Perry.
no, they are just these.
No, I'm talking in the chat. Perry said the
Oh, yeah.
Usos are the
But-
but I don't know, man.
But the
I still think Eddie Christian.
but the execution of the whole thing was bad, and that's what makes it look bad. And you didn't need to use it.
I honestly can't believe. Look, I don't want to sound like a dick, okay? I don't.
Yeah,
But I honestly can't believe people even give a shit. It is the dumbest fucking ratings grab, stupid shit. Who gives a fuck about what mouthy ass CM Punk has to say? Who gives a fuck about what Tony Khan has to say? It's schoolyard bullshit, man.
maybe now that they're at the lowest, they can put this behind them and stop worrying about it, and then focus on improving the brand, improving the show.
I mean,
Maybe
you got guys like this
maybe you have
Johnny
to-
Autism. You got guys like
Yeah.
this Johnny Autism literally saying, "I'm taking a break from AEW." That's how upset I
Okay.
am with the brand I am.
Zoe said, "Come on, Chris. The Dudley Boys are the best tag team of all time."
I think an argument can be made for the Usos, but Dudley's would be in my top 5. The Dudleys would be in my top 5, but it's absolutely Edge and Christian number 1 for me. You know, 7-time. Tables, ladders, and chairs. The Usos are great, but they ain't never done no shit like that.
The Usos are the best tag team of this era.
Oh, this era for sure.
Oh,
Absolutely. Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
Liv or Bailey, who you prefer? Bubble Butt Bailey. I prefer that. Even though Liv is catching up. I just want them to do more with her. Then I could be like Liv.
The guy
over
in the
Bailey, but
blue
right now it's
shirt.
Bailey.
What is that? What is that? What?
Please don't get mad at me for asking this question, but the guy in the blue shirt, is that actually the guy in the green shirt? I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Who's in the green shirt? I know Mo's wearing a blue shirt.
I'm wearing a black. with
I'm
this
wearing a
on.
black in my thing, and then on my other one, I'm wearing I'm out here.
We wouldn't know. But I don't
I'm a
know.
little confused. Let's see. Please don't get mad at me. He
Oh, well, my
is
bad.
okay. We will say this: Johnny Autism Wrestling is the name. So let's all context
Hey.
clues. Please
Yeah.
don't
No,
get
I'm
mad at me
not-
for asking this question. But the guy in the blue shirt, but the guy in the blue shirt, is that actually the guy in the green shirt?
Who's in the green shirt? Yeah, who's in the green shirt?
I don't know what that means, but I'll let him
I like
write
it, but I
down
like
to
it. I
us.
like your enthusiasm, Johnny. I like it.
Mo is
And
legit the
speaking-
guy in the blue shirt. I'm
Yeah.
actually wearing a
It's-
white dragon shirt, but I really
Yeah.
am.
And
I
speaking
really
of-
am wearing a
speaking
white
of-
dragon shirt.
And speaking of green shirt, that's a great transition because the next match is Latino World Order, Rey Mysterio, and I had Dragon Lee put on there. I didn't update
Yeah,
it to,
it ended up being on.
of course, Andrade. So let me
Andrade.
fix that right now.
Let
That
me
way
just
we
say
can
this much.
get that White Dragon stuff out of here and just make fun of Chris All stream. Like we
Oh
do.
no! That's not the guy from Mo doesn't go to the. He goes to Raw, but he's not the guy in the front row. In that.
Oh
No,
no! I know. Okay, I know. It's not
Now I
him.
know.
It's the guy.
I got you.
I think he's talking about the guy in the green shirt that always be at WWE.
The one
live
Ark
events,
hates.
sports
Ark hates that fucking guy.
He is literally at everything.
Yeah, he must be a fairly.
If you're
attractive
talking about
guy.
their face, live all day. If you do not care about their face and like a nice ass, then barely I would take live. Hey, I can agree with that. I don't hate that.
Bailey. Oh, see, that's a tough one for me because y'all, it's no secret. Mo is an ass guy. Make no bones about it. But Liv isn't
wait.
too far behind. But another thing that I love, she lives on a farm. So I might have to go live, dog. I might have to go live.
Yeah.
Look, Naomi has
Bo Dallas.
Bailey has cake. Naomi has cake. Even what's her face has cake, but no one has the cake like Rhea. No one except maybe Naomi. They're like nobody.
Yeah, I mean, can't.
Anyway,
get
Cage,
that.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I don't
yeah.
want to derail. I didn't mean to derail. They did it, not me. The chat did. But I will say this much: for a match that I didn't give a shit about and made me look horrible because I said dumb shit like the White Dragon. This was one of my favorite matches of WrestleMania. When they sprungboard that dude off the rope, the double crossbody, bro, amazing match. What a fun match. And let me tell you something. Tom's getting better.
Slime, you dirty dog.
Tom is getting good. He's taking big bumps, man. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Dude, shout out to Perry Banks, aka Slime, in the building, showing some love to Nia Jax, baby. Let's go.
Damn.
Dude, hey, Slime, watch out, bro. You gonna fuck around and make Chris mad, brother. Watch out.
Yeah, she's got
look like two rhinos headbutting.
I like some big girls, man. Nia's
look
beautiful.
Like two honey baked hands.
Hey, you better like you talk about all cyborg and everything, and then you better like Nia Jax.
One time I said Chris Cyborg cleaned up and looked pretty. One time. That's been 5 years. That's been almost 5 years. That's been almost 5 years, and you motherfuckers will not.
I'm sure I can find it.
Then why did I find this on your profile? Dude, tell me how to.
I can't believe it.
That just,
that thing's like 3 years old.
Your profile.
Wow.
Damn.
Just wow.
He had that waiting.
Dude, just
waiting.
waiting.
That's awful.
And
this guy's supposed to be my friend.
Just waiting.
He's just telling you. Oh.
Okay, go ahead. My bad.
Did you guys see Kevin Nash say that Triple H called him 5 or 6 days before WrestleMania to invite him? Kevin said he could not come on such short notice. He also said he couldn't go to AEW for Sting's thing.
Where is he?
And then he backtracked.
Where is he that he can't? You know what? I honestly think I think that Kev's at that age now and made enough money now that he don't give a fuck. He'll do shoots and stuff on YouTube channels, but I just don't think he wants to travel. You've been traveling your whole life. When you get sick of it, but then again, WrestleMania 40 is a big fucking deal, man. Like, how do you say no to that? I'm sure Triple H would have worked the way to bring him out there in an NWO shirt or something. He would have.
They're Kevin Nash is just a sour bitch, bro. Dude,
you don't like Kevin? Yeah, I agree with that. But but he's like another Bubba Ray. You know how we feel about Bubba Ray or Bully Ray, but. Yeah. Every once in a while, Bully be kicking some odd pearls of knowledge, man. Every once in a while, he has some shit that makes sense, man. And Kevin Nash is the same way. I never really liked Big Diesel. I just never did. But he's smart. He's definitely got a mind for the business, man. He keeps muting his mic to talk on. Do it again.
Back to this one.
That was fucking perfect. I cannot wait to watch that back later. That was fucking perfect. Mo's out here, motherfucking. What do you call it? He's a networking man. He's doing his shit.
Yeah, that's what we do. Kevin said he will not get physical anymore. He is healthy and able to work out again. He did not want to fuck up his body again. He's just being careful, but I don't think that too.
Those two have put those guys, all of them, honestly, have put so much shit in their body. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And I figured out how it works. I didn't know this, but my mama, she's really smart. She was a nurse for a long time. And she said the way those steroids work, certain ones, they will thin the walls of your heart. It will literally thin the walls of your heart to where it's easier for those valves for you to have heart attacks and stuff. It's crazy. And when they found Eddie, he didn't have a bunch of drugs in his system. His body couldn't handle it anymore. All the shit he was doing before. That's crazy to be thinking about that.
And then it's finally clean, and then he just overworked himself too much, his heart. Because everything, like you said,
if you do a cycle here and there, all right. If you do a cycle here and there as a young man,
you're okay. Exactly.
Yeah, it's not going to fuck you up, but it's when you do it for years on end and the continuous 365 days, or even if you do like a 7-week cycle, you take a break, 7-week cycle, take a break, that kind of shit. The continuous like work on your heart, it's working double time. So your heart only has so many beats anyway. So then you start doing that stuff, and it starts taking time off your life. So that's like the Ultimate Warrior. It's I don't think he was doing any drugs the night that he died. I think it's all the craziness that he did in the 80s and the 90s that finally just randomly caught up to him. And honestly, probably, bro, you know, and I was kind of worried about this about Triple H when he came off that heart surgery stuff. Yeah, you're not supposed to bump around, but going out there to a big pop and a big adrenaline rush, stuff like that, you know, it can make some people get nervous to go on camera and talk, let alone be, you know, a arena full of people chanting your name or booing you. So maybe that's something that affected Ultimate Warrior, you know, because he died the day after he was on Raw, right? So maybe
he got inducted into the Hall of Fame. He did the goodbye on Raw, and then boom, the next day that's when it happened. So it was like crazy. Like at least he got inducted and got to be there and everything, and then boom, it was like made to happen. Like that's stuff that you can't put in like the movies or stuff that you put in the movies where that happened. Zoe said if that's the case, The Rock is pushing it. No way he is clean.
Oh, yeah, he's on all the sauce.
And then he's been training. Like, I think that maybe that's the difference. Like he's been training in the last 2 months for that match, kind of like because he's not doing it 4 times. It's like he was training for like one match, and he's not doing everything like 300 plus days a year. So he's technically not pushing himself as much. But I wouldn't say too much about this. You mentioned it. The spots were very good. Joaquin Wilde, like that spot where he jumps off the top, was insane. He got to have his moment there. We thought that maybe Santos and Dirty Dom were going to win, but then we had 2 random luchadors in masks come out and throw him into the.
I hated that. I hated that, man.
A couple fucking bums, if you ask me.
One of the Kelseys, bro. I hated that, man. They've already invaded our. Yeah, look, I don't like it. I'm sorry, and I like Jason. I do. I like Jason, and I like Travis.
Man.
But I keep Taylor Swift the fuck away from wrestling, for real.
It was Jason and Lane Johnson. Travis wasn't there.
I know, but he's his brother.
I'd rather have seen Travis than fucking Jason.
Yep.
You just don't like an ex-Eagle. Just say it. Just say it.
No. I love an ex-Eagle. I hate an actual Eagle.
Yeah. And one thing, no matter what.
Let's roll through this. We're 2 hours deep, and we're still on night 1, dog.
Yep. Well, we like to kick it. We're killers, man.
Oh yeah.
We got us talking about it. We got Chris. We got Chris profiling. That's what we do.
I don't profile shit.
Hey, Cage, I have an idea.
What's up?
Do you want me to end this here on TikTok with me rolling here, and you start one on your end, and you see how it is on your end, and see if so you get an experience it.
Well, if you're going good, we don't have to. You could keep it on.
Oh yeah, no.
But then you would have to take over this more on this.
And flip I had ended it. One thing that I don't know, maybe the people on the live could help me, or maybe you know, are there replays on the live, or is the live gone after it's?
I think you can go back and watch the replay.
Yeah, I think you can replay it.
I think it gives you that option. Yeah.
Well, see, because I went back and looked in our videos and I didn't see, but maybe it had to download or something. I don't know.
I think there's a thing when you end the stream. Oh, it asks you because Julie used to do hers.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay, y'all go ahead.
Yeah, so I didn't mind it because it was a great way to like one up a guy like Dirty Dom, where he's the one doing stuff like that. He's Dirty Dom for a reason. He or she's getting dirty tactics to win. So to have like an equalizer in Elaine and Jason to help out LWO
Some of those
was a
spots
good.
were
Yeah.
so good, man. That double cross
Oh,
body, I've never
that-
seen that before. Never seen
that-
it before.
That's why you have to love these cruiserweights, these high flyers so much because they can do these things that we wish that we could do in everyday normal, and they just wow you. And even though they only had 11 minutes of time, they were still able to get a lot of action within it. Andrade got to showcase himself. Ray got to get one over on Dom again, so now it's 2-0 Ray because Dirty Dom continues to put himself into his father's business, and this is his father checking him again. But I really like Santos, so I kind of wanted him to win because I like his future. I like the look. He's not in a mask. The way he debuted was he was in a mask and he ripped it off, so he's kind of going like the backwards way of being a luchador with the group. And I think even though he lost, I still think he was able to showcase himself. And I'm wondering if they, in the future, do this Andrade Santos thing, possibly between the two of them. But it was a great match. Like, wasn't bad, wasn't top notch. It was really good.
Yeah, this was one that I fast forward all the way through so I could get caught up live where y'all were.
He said Jason was available. He just retired. Travis was probably busy with Taylor. At least I would be. Perry said, do y'all think Edge or Brett the best Canadian wrestler?
Yes. Brett's without a doubt.
Brett.
Brett's not just the greatest Canadian wrestler. He might be the greatest of all time. He might be. There's an argument that could be made for that.
Best will be.
You know, I always go flip flop with this. Mo knows that. Mo's a Brett guy. I'm a Sean guy.
Yeah.
But if bell to bell, they are the two greatest wrestlers of all time. I don't care what anyone says. Brett and Sean.
Ding ding, right here. Ding ding. My prediction is that Dom finally beats Ray in his retirement. That's perfect. That's perfect. Maybe you set it up for next year where they do, where of course, kind of like Stone Cold and The Rock. The Rock retired Stone Cold. He got the win after losing the first two. And then he wins the third, and then Stone Cold retires. So maybe the same thing happens here.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know what we should
So
do?
we got the kick you out.
I was gonna say if we're not busy tomorrow, we do night one tonight, night two tomorrow. Break it up into 2 days. If you want to. We don't have to. We can keep going. I don't care. I just know I gotta call. You know, you guys know I gotta call my mom soon.
I'm down for whatever.
I'm down for whatever, Cage. I do
I
want
have
to
to work
know.
at Fish Fry tomorrow because I'm a good person, but
Yes, you are. Well, we would have had more time. I'm gonna get booted.
I'll be done.
We would have had more.
Good person.
Here's where I get booted. Listen, we would have had more time on this, and we would have been deeper into it if we didn't have to waste like an hour on that other bullshit ragtag wannabe promotion NXT that nobody gives a fuck about. But like,
well, somebody likes the profile, and that didn't help the situation. I'm not going to name names.
We don't do that shit around this channel, Chris.
Is it? Look, if a guy told me that they're called the Sisterhood, and I think that's their real name, does that really make me profiling?
I told you what that
was. You could have put them in your place. You could have put them in your place and be like, no. Profile like that.
I don't give a shit. That's gonna go down as one of our best streams ever.
I mean, it
was fire.
It was that.
Anyway, no, I actually like NXT. I wish I had more time to watch NXT because the shit they're doing in NXT. When I used to watch it back when Bailey and Sasha were still there, and they had that great man. Those first few pay-per-views were so fire. Like, remember when NXT didn't even have its own show yet? It was just like documentary into a pay-per-view, documentary into a pay-per-view.
No, they had a show then.
I mean, it was so fire. The one that I really don't like is that, what was it, 305? That's not the one I really cared for.
205 Live, because there's the cruiserweights.
The cruiserweights are great.
They get no respect.
Well, it's just too much wrestling. I think they were oversaturating us with too much wrestling. You know, we got two main shows, then we got NXT, then you got all the documentary stuff going on during the week, then you've got 205 Live, and then you got your pay-per-views. And that's just one promotion. You watch them all, Cage. You watch New Japan. You watch AEW. You watch TNA. Well, I mean, where the fuck do you have other time for anything else?
I don't.
You see what I mean? You know what I mean?
That's why I got my son into it, so I don't have to worry about that. You know, I got my son into it. He has his Yeet shirt. He has his Finish the Story shirt.
Yeah, Yeet.
He has his Chicken Ain't Easy shirt. You know, he has his 3 shirts, and then he got a TNA towel from when we went to TNA. You know.
Well, I gotta call my mom before it gets too late, and then I gotta drop into one other stream real quick. And then if you guys are still on, I will jump back on. If you guys
because they're more important than us.
Oh, it's just an obligation. It's actually money. You know.
Money? Oh, money. Oh.
Oh, we understand.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, you guys are important too. Why you getting sensitive? Cage, don't get sensitive.
Hey,
you guys are just as important as anybody else. You guys are just as important to me as anybody else. Are you going to do night 2 also?
I don't. It's his call. I'm down for whatever.
I'm down for whatever, but then we would have to make a new thumbnail.
Well, I can make a thumbnail tomorrow. That ain't no thing.
I'm just saying, yeah. So we can just banner a little bit before you end it. Chris.
We still got that. Yeah. I mean, if not, I got. Well, we.
Since apparently somebody said. Somebody said I talked too much about NXT.
That's not really true, though. I'm just. I mean, what exactly is what's his name?
Who?
Not Swerve. He's AEW. The other guy.
I don't know.
Trick.
The other guy?
Yeah, Trick.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. Yes. If the other guy has the same skin tone,
they have this.
Get the fuck out.
They have the same moveset.
If they have the same beautiful black skin, and you called him the other guy, like they all look like they all just look like.
That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant at all. That's what I was talking about, Trick. I was talking about Trick. That made me jump when he turned that on. That made me jump. Pretty good seats, Cage.
So is that the other guy you were talking about? Keyword other guy?
Well, I just know that once TNA's like big time dude is Swerve, and then Trick is the other, and I always get the shows they're on mixed up. The names.
He said, it feels like Trick got more potential right now than Mello. I think what it is you already see the full package from Mello right now, and then with Trick, it's all raw. There's more that you can get from him. He has given you so much already, but there's still a lot left over. Oh my God.
That's going to become the running. Is that going to become the running
gag? Just start saying white dragon, black dragon, brown dragon, you know.
Is that going to become like the running gag? Chris is a racist.
yeah, that's the angle you're playing, bud. That's the angle you're playing.
Well, Chris is going to come out with a book called The Wrestling Rainbow.
You guys are wrong.
We got Dutch Mantel Jedi over here.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to call my mom, make an appearance. You guys do your thing. If you decide tomorrow, you guys know me. I'm down for whatever. All right.
Thanks for coming in, man.
All right. Y'all be good.
Thanks. Peace.
Gotcha.
So we only have one match left on night one that we have to finish. It's the most important one on night one. And then we can kind of bullshit a little bit before we get out, since we got a few people in here. You got the Bloodline, The Rock, and Roman Reigns defeats Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins. 45-minute long match. It fucking went almost an hour. How did you feel about this?
Oh, I thought it was by far the best match on the card. Thought it gave us a lot of good. I really have a problem separating night one main event and night two main event. You know what I mean? Because they kind of blend in.
You kind of have to use night one to get night two a little bit, because the storyline carries over and then spills into Raw afterwards.
Exactly. So because it goes part one of it is, in my opinion, was how Rock was the one that beat Cody. Part two was night two main event. Everybody knows, Cody beat Roman. So now the story is going to be that Rock, which he already said. Then on Raw, he said, "You might have beat my cousin, but you haven't beat me. Y'all's story has ended. Ours has just begun."
Yeah.
So it's great. You got to follow one to go to the other. As far as a match, I think it was a pretty good match. Like you said, it was long, so it's hard to remember the match. But I do like how they split up. I like how they went in the crowd, and they made it to where Rock didn't blow up. It wasn't like magnified on the Rock, so it allowed him to be off camera some and then be on camera a little bit, but it wasn't an overexposure of the Rock. It was the perfect amount. Plus the Rock's theme. I don't know if there's a better fucking theme in wrestling, son. Like it is with
and they changed it too.
Added little things along the way. You know what I mean? Like they didn't have the red eyes. They didn't have it at the very beginning. It was something they added, and then the lightning. They sprinkled that in. It was like a story as well. He was powering up as the final boss.
You know where they got it from? You know where they got it from? Somebody made like an arcade thing where it was called the final boss, and you had you playing, and at the end it had the Rock Brahma Bull, and it shot the lasers out the eyes.
Yeah, that's dope.
Which they added. I think they added that part on Raw.
That's dope.
At the Mania, but on WrestleMania they had just the thing out. And it came out, but it was like they had the Rock's theme, then they added the Thunderbolts to it, then they added the Hollywood part to it, where it's like the slow,
and that's just what topped it off was the Hollywood.
And then Perry said this Raw after WrestleMania felt more like a Raw after SummerSlam.
I agree.
It's like I think we kind of have to take away the notion of Raw, like the Raw after Mania. I don't think we're ever gonna get what we used to get, where it was a bunch of like shocking returns and whatnot, and signees and all this craziness. Like we only had a couple of NXT call-ups and maybe one return, I think.
Yeah.
With them, because they're going in a different direction because you have so much talent, you don't need to throw everything. And then we still have to remember SmackDown is tomorrow. So we still have a lot that we haven't got with, because we still have the SmackDown after Mania. So we still got a little bit to see what's going to happen tonight. But I really loved the fact how you said they split it up. You had Rollins and The Rock going at it. You had Reigns and Cody going at it. But I liked the fact where the Rock was standing behind Cody. They're both getting up all groggy, have to deal with each other. Roman, very slow, was going to go for the spear. And I was like, watch, he's going to move out of the way. I didn't expect Seth to push him out of the way, Seth to get out of the way, and then The Rock get speared by Roman. I saw that. I was like, okay, Rock's going to turn on him at night 2. I was like, because he got speared, which didn't happen. We know that. But then towards the end, of course, Seth was too beaten up to be part of the match. Cody, I think, got speared and whatnot. He was already kind of finished. He was going for the finish, gets hit with the belt, then gets speared. And then you had The Rock go, puts his hand out. I thought Roman could have just pinned him right there. But to add more to the story, like we said, especially with on Raw, Brock had him tag him in, and Roman was like, okay.
Yeah.
Then he goes to picks him up, rock bottom, people's elbow, then he pins him. And I'm like, really? Why are you going to have Cody get pinned? I was like, okay, that means Cody's going to win now, but why would you have Rock pinned? I had to think about it for a little while. And then seeing what happened on Mania, seeing what happened on Raw, and I'm like, that is why. Just like you said, he pinned Cody, Cody pinned Reigns. So the story is done with Reigns, but it's not done with the actual bloodline because he still hasn't pinned The Rock. In essence. So it allows them to dive into that storyline. You saw it with the Raw. He hands him the thing. We'll get into that probably tomorrow. But it allowed that just thought process to come in. And you're like, okay, how can you carry over night 1 to night 2? Knowing that everybody is going to be suspenseful with if Cody can win. They built a story night 1 of against all odds. Like you have the bloodline win to stack the deck against Cody so that it looks like Cody's going to have no chance of winning, so that when he wins, everybody's shocked, everybody's going crazy, everybody's having a lot of emotions, and it gets you very tuned in. You gets everybody like boom, they're focused on it. Like you want to see it. That's like the type of cliffhanger that like in like soap operas that you get every episode where it ends in a cliffhanger and keeps you tuned into the next day to watch. That's what they did to us. They got us good there. At first, I thought Seth was going to be the one to get pinned, and then when Cody got pinned, I was like, "Whoa!" But then I was like, "Okay, good move, Trips. Yeah, right call there." And then being able to carry it on to afterwards, more than likely that it's going to be a year-long storyline with Cody and The Rock. But damn, it was so good. And then, of course, at some point, like, I don't know if it was night 1 or night 2, Seth re-injured his leg with how he did. We'll go into that tomorrow at night 2. But what they did storyline-wise, perfect. They knocked it out of the park with night 1 and then continued it night 2. You essentially have built the prototypical babyface face of the company within 2 matches of Mania. If he wasn't that top guy, which everybody thought he already was, he is now.
Yeah. I mean, take somebody like me. I mean, I was, which you know that.
Yeah.
I was going with the flow as far as I don't hate Cody. You know what I mean? I was just going with the Cody crybaby gimmick. But the little, I wouldn't say disdain, but the little hesitancy I had on Cody, he did. I'm not saying I think he's the best in the world, but I will say that I think that he definitely won me over as far as I do think that they did the right move at the right time with the right person. They kept Roman undefeated basically for 3 years, and they had to find the right person to beat him. And I think really outside Cody, I don't think there's anybody that could have benefited as much of Cody. So that's what the game is about: who can benefit, how can you build somebody up, and I think that they did the best possible thing that they could do.
And this is the situation where it could be a pleasant surprise where it works out in the benefit, because WrestleMania 39 wasn't supposed to be Roman and Cody. It was supposed to be Roman, Rock, and SoFi. but The Rock couldn't make it happen. So then they pivoted to the first Cody and Roman, where Roman wins. And I think that's what made this one even better. I think the fact that you pivoted to Cody, everybody started to gravitate towards Cody at that time, and because the whole, I think the big moment in Cody's career was the Hell in a Cell against Seth Rollins, torn pec. He wrestled anyway with the torn pec, won the match, went away for 6 months to build that suspense for his return. Everybody who was not on the Cody train had now jumped on the Cody train. It goes in, loses to Roman, and then everybody was like, we want to see this match again. We're on Cody. And then Cody goes through the whole adversity train all year, wrestles Brock Lesnar 3 times to kind of like build himself even more as a big-time babyface. Then wins the Royal Rumble again. By then, he's gotten huge just because of like kind of like the Sami Zayn with the Bloodline, where that only got big by accident because Cody tore his pec. It was only supposed to last for like a couple months, and they had to prolong it because of the torn pec with Cody. So it was like kind of like Stone Cold and how he got big with the happy accidents. The same thing has kind of happened here. Because of things that they had to pivot towards, and it kind of created that story of Cody rising to finish that story, and like this process. Like, who knows how it would have done if we were going to get was it a Rock and Roman at 39 instead? We don't know who Cody would have fought at 39 and how they would have built to this, but because it happened this way, they were able to tell this multi-year story that on top of it had a career story because of his father never winning the championship. And on top of that, Roman having the championship for 1,400 days like he did. And so it was like just craziness that happened. Everybody was invested. We will finish that up, whole thing with a bow, talking about night 2. But this was a perfect like transition from this match to the following night, knowing that now we're going to have tribal rules now instead of just a regular one-on-one match. I think it was the right move. Like, you have to add doubt in to get people to be like, can he do it? Because if they would have won and he would have had a regular match, he would have been like, a regular match. Like, if it's a regular match, you might get interference anyway. But at least with this, it allows both sides to have help because they're tearing towards tribal wars. Now everybody can get involved in it. But I guess the other side never thought that Cody would have backup.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think they played it perfect. There's only one really thing that I didn't like about that's not that I didn't like about it. Is you can nitpick. That's a night 2, so we will talk about that tomorrow.
Zoe said, I have to admit that I'm a Seth guy, not 100% sure why, though. I was not happy with this tough weekend. I understand why they did it, though. Plus the fact that he's beaten up. He has he had a bad leg. He came in not 100%. He was trying to get as much as the 100% as he could to be able to continue the storyline that he was in. And he has a bad back. And this guy hasn't taken time off. He's actually going to take. They said he's going to be off for like the next 4 or 5 weeks, which is much deserving, much needed. But this guy limped into Mania, like hurt as can be. So, but I think this was the time, as we're talking about night 2, to set him off for a little R&R before he comes back.
Yeah, he's definitely going to have to rest and heal up some.
Yes, indeed. But I guess we're going to do night 2 tomorrow. It gives us a way to break this up into 2
also, it will
parts.
allow us to touch on what happened on SmackDown, too, if anything happens.
That, too. We could probably talk about that while we're doing that, because it's going to be quite a bit that we'll see, because I believe Roman is scheduled for SmackDown. I believe.
Maybe we open the pod up tomorrow with that, and then we hit night 2.
Because there's going to be a lot to talk about with him once we finish up night 2 and where we go from that and whatnot. But night 1 wasn't, I still think night 2 blew night 1 out of the water, but night 2 was okay. I think it was a heavily built night 1 around the main event, hence why it went 45 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I would give, if night 1 stood alone, I would say it wouldn't be the best WrestleMania. But with the night 1, night 2 system, I think it was a nice addition to night 2. You know, you have night 2, which was your star show, and then you could add night 1, which is like a little compliment to it. It was like a good little side. So
I feel like night 1 tries to do more of the storylines, and then night 2 is all about like the big
the
championships where the glitz and the glamour and the top off. And I think like we might have to talk about where tomorrow after we're done, we might have to go and rate where we had ranked this Mania this year to everyone else.
That sounds good. That sounds good.
So says, good show, fellas. If you're free tomorrow, I know you were busy tonight, but if you're free tomorrow, feel free to hit us up in the group chat, and you can join us as part of the stream. So let us know if you're free tomorrow, and you can hop on with us. If not, definitely just tune in with the chat, because it's always good to have somebody in here talking, especially Zoe.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
He said the 2 nights is way better.
Do what?
He said the 2 nights is way better. The old 6 to 7 hour WrestleManias was a long time. It was good when it was like 4 or 5 hours, and then they jam packed it. It's just that once they knew they had to split it when they did the WrestleMania in New York, when they went to 1 o'clock in the morning, it was like 8-9 hours, and they had like so many matches. It's like, if you're gonna have so many matches, do 2 nights, split it up, and have 7 and 7. That way, you can breathe a little bit. You can kind of game plan, and then you kind of could get away with having 2 Royal Rumbles where you're like, okay, which they haven't done it. Well, they have for a couple of years, but like, if you're gonna say like a main event WrestleMania, you better have them in the main event. Yeah. Because Bayley did win the Royal Rumble, but she wasn't given a main event. But other than that, we will finish tomorrow. We'll do a part 2 tomorrow by same time. Go over night 2, go over SmackDown, and then next week. This is the plan. I'm kind of excited for it. We're going to do a WWE draft prediction. We might just come on, throw names. We'll bring names up. I'm going to bring the roster up, and we're
we could do. We could make it to where like you had Raw, I have SmackDown, and we do a snake draft.
We could do that, and try. And we need to try and book it the way that because a lot of things are going to be easy. Like, both champs are going to be on different shows. Same thing with the tag titles and whatnot. So that'll be the easy. We'll start out with that. That way it's easy.
Yeah.
Because we know how that's going to be. It's just everything afterwards is like a crapshoot, like trying to predict. But it's a fun thing to do because it's something that's coming up. It's a big deal, and it's our way of being able to get ready for the new roster breakdowns.
I ain't touch it. But man, sounds good. Do what?
And I said, wasn't you?
Yeah, no, man. I'm sorry, man. That had nothing to do with it. But yeah, no, I'm getting sleepy myself. So, but yeah, no, that was a good stream. We went 2 hours, 38 minutes, and we will be live again tomorrow to break down what happens on SmackDown and night 2. And maybe who knows who's gonna be on? It might just be me and Cage. It might be a panel full of people.
Yeah, you never know. But other than that, you can check out all the rest of our content on social media. We're on Twitter, we're on Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok under at WrestlingBrosPod without the E. So don't forget to hit the like button down below. Leave us a comment if you're watching this after the fact. And definitely subscribe to the new channel that we're on right now. We did kind of like a washout, starting fresh to rebuild the channel the right way. We still got the TikTok going, which is killing it. We're almost over to 900 to 1,000 followers on TikTok. He went live on TikTok. Maybe we do it again tomorrow to get more people in. Shout out to everybody that came in the chat. You got Perry, you got Jacksonville Azo, you had Dylan from the World Elite podcast. We had the broadcast coming in. We got Daryl, and of course, Bipolar Chris, the profiler who came in with us as well. So thank you guys for tuning in, commenting on this video. Come back tomorrow. Check out the shorts that we put out on a daily basis on TikTok and on YouTube. And then just hit us up on the socials.
Nice. Faux show. So this is your boy Mo. You can find me on X at MoScream5P1. You got the dashing one. Dashing, hit your X real quick.
I'm on X at CageIQ. That's where I do all of my stuff on there for the personal. And then we do everything on the Wrestling Bros together for the show.
That's right. That's right. You can follow our socials there. Follow us here. Follow us everywhere. This is your boy Mo. That's the dashing one. We'll see you tomorrow. Appreciate your support. Till next time. Peace.